Every day now we're approving visa revocations. If you tell us when you apply for a visa, I'm coming to the U.S. to participate in pro-Hamas events, that runs counter to the foreign policy interest of the United States of America. It's that simple. So you lied. You came. If you had told us that you were going to do that, we never would have given you the visa. Now you're here. Now you do it. So you lied to us. You're out. It's that simple.
The Trump administration crackdown against hate continues. The DHS announcing that it has denied a Brown University doctor re-entry to the United States because of her support and sympathy for the terror group Hezbollah.
Yeah, this was the one that went to the funeral.
And now the elite school is telling international students and staff to avoid travel outside the United States. Joining us now is Brooke Goldstein, executive director of the Lawfare Project.
Fucking went to the funeral of a goddamn Hezbollah leader. Like, what are you doing? Why did you self-report yourself? What the fuck?
It's great to have you here. Here's what DHS posted about Dr. Alawiya. That last month she traveled to Beirut. She attended the funeral of Hassan Nasrallah. He was, of course, a brutal terrorist who led Hezbollah, responsible for killing hundreds of Americans over a 4-decade terror spree. Alawiya openly admitted to this to CBP officers, as well as her support of Nasrallah. A visa is a privilege, not a right, and goes on to say
who was recently fucking got by the Israelis.
Brooke.
I think very well. I don't think there could be a stronger case.
Hassan, what happened? What happened to your idol, Mr. Nasrallah?
Material support to a designated terrorist group, and I think all of the arguments
he's 6 feet under the floor now.
Dangerously and intentionally misleading. You do not have a free speech right to come into this country after attending the funeral of a terrorist leader that has participated in multiple attacks that have killed American citizens. You know, I'm so concerned with Brown University's response here. They are advising their own students
where's
not
Hassan?
to travel.
Are you sad about your sad terrorist leader in Lebanese?
So this is Brown University in a letter to students
or
yesterday
Lebanon?
Reported widely that we understand that many in our community are feeling a great deal of uncertainty and anxiety. Out of an abundance of caution, we encourage international students, staff, faculty, and scholars, including U.S. visa holders and permanent residents or green card holders, to consider postponing or delaying personal travel outside the United States. So they put the chill on. I want to ask you one thing, though. So Alawiya, as I understand it, she did attend the funeral. She said that to DHS. But is attending a funeral considered material support?
Well, we don't know exactly what she did at that funeral, and I would argue, yes, it is. It's not a matter of
Hassan Piker, I don't have issue with terror group Hezbollah.
Show your support for a designated terrorist group. And what's so troubling about Brown University's statement is how many people do they have at that school that they're concerned that they shouldn't travel outside the country. They shouldn't be concerned unless they're importing terror supporters as doctors and medical students. And how would this woman even take the Hippocratic Oath when her spiritual leader is Hassan Nasrallah, who has called for the elimination of Americans, who supports the killing of American civilians and Jewish babies, all for the sake of jihad? It's insane what's going on at this university. They should be concerned about the process by which they're vetting the people that they are bringing into this country.
I think the media coverage is also interesting. Look at these headlines. It's just a variety from PBS, NBC, and The Independent.
Hezbollah leader
the headlines don't get you into the whole story, but a lot of people just read the headlines, and it says the professor was deported without explanation.
This is going to be very
or
bad.
Despite having valid visa.
Yeah, this is
Hassan. If you're just scanning the headlines, you might think that this is some sort of rogue operation. This was specific, and she had deleted the photos on her phone in anticipation of there being questions about it.
Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah is killed. He has been martyred by the Zionist entity.
She wasn't so much deported
Hezbollah
as she
came
was
out
denied
and
entry.
confirmed
She was
his
never
assassination.
really allowed
Iran has
into
vowed
this
to
country.
retaliate.
And the
I hope the
question is,
chatters
what
that
do we
are
want this country
in
to look like? Do we
Lebanon
want
are
a country?
okay.
We cannot have a country if we have complete open borders and there's no vetting, and we're allowing terrorist supporters in our country.
All right, Brooke Goldstein, lots of moving parts today. We appreciate you helping us this morning. Thank you.
All right, there is also this. The Trump
You didn't say anything when that shit happened in Britain.
The details of the El Salvador migrant flights to a federal judge or submit a reason for not doing so. The judge, appointed by President Obama, is also facing impeachment efforts by some on the right. Former Deputy Assistant DHS Secretary Jonathan Fahey joins me now on all of this. Jonathan, good morning to you. So the latest on this is that the judge wants the Trump administration to answer a bunch of questions by noon today. How many people were on these flights? How many flights were there?
Team America and say, surprise, cockfags! The Trump
administration is now having to fight in court to get gang members out of this country. So legally, how do you see this playing out?
Yeah, that's a great point, that they are having to fight to kick out gang members. Here's how I expect it to play out. The Trump administration may lose the issue with this district judge who already seems predisposed to rule against them, but they're ultimately going to win in the appellate court and ultimately
tell that
the Supreme
judge
Court
to
if it goes that far, because
tell that judge surprise
and
then fucking kick him out.
Gives the discretion to the president to make
There's
these
a surprise,
decisions
bitch.
to decide if this is an alien incursion and to remove them. The whole purpose of the act was to
Some
do
of those
this
judges are
without
shady.
judicial review, without courts
They're
being
doing
involved.
some shady shit.
And, you know, I think the White House has discussed this. If they had to put every deportation of a gang member, of somebody that was invading our country, in front of a district judge, you couldn't even repel them.
Now do
And the very big point is all of this happened because the Biden administration flew all of these people in or brought them in from Venezuela, knowing that many of them were probably gang members and not even
defund Brown University.
And that was sort of part of the game, is to bring in so many people that deportation becomes just overwhelmingly burdensome. But ultimately, to your question, the Trump administration will ultimately win this
No
issue
entry.
because discretion is given
Super
to the
isolation.
executive branch in this type of issues of national security.
Yeah, and also on the deportation front, Jonathan, a Brown University assistant professor here on an H-1B visa has been deported after she traveled to Lebanon last month.
Pendejos. Oh shit, whoops. But I was done watching that. Yeah, send all those weird fuckers out of here. You don't deserve to be in the fucking country. Apparently there was some Nihamas in there too.
He's been going for Justin Bieber. He's been going for a tough time. He's had some horrible experiences previously. And
yeah, what's going on with Bieber now?
Things on his social media that's been concerning many people, and he's
has fun at Disneyland after disturbing post. What was the disturbing post? Is that the one? God damn it. The fuck? Oh my god. Wait, what? Oh, here it is. This is the post. I was always told when I was a kid not to hate. A post began. But it made me feel like I wasn't allowed to have it, and so I didn't tell anyone I've had it. The post went on to say that he felt... Whoa. What the fuck? Get out of here. Piece of shit. Where'd it go? Felt as though he had a drowning feeling, but felt unsafe to acknowledge it. I think we can only let hate go by first acknowledging it's there. The message concluded, how couldn't we feel hate from all the hurt we have experienced? The ominous post came just weeks after the ghost singer's appearance and behavior sparked allegations of drug use. However, in a statement first published by TMZ on Feb 23, a representative for the singer spoke out, calling out narratives about Justin's health or allegations of drug use false and exhausting. I mean, he just wanted to post some deep shit. I don't know. I mean, given what's been happening all around him, why? I mean, did he post that, or did his PR do? I guess it's his personal account. But I don't know. Seems to be doing okay, given all the shit that's been going around, right?
Generally been going through a rough time. So his missus thought, hey, look, let's get you through this rough time. I'm going to treat you. And the way I'm going to treat you, I'm going to take you to Disneyland. Now, I can think of many different ways that you could get somebody through a rough time. And Disneyland isn't one of them, for an adult especially.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Disneyland was kind of like probably the right choice.
But hey, each to their own. Hey, so his missus thought, hey, look, you know what? We'll
probably should have asked him. Hey, what would you like to do?
We'll forget about all the troubles. So I hope he had a good time and
yeah, hopefully he had a good time. I mean, it looked like he was okay.
Some previous stuff, but it's a real thing. You know, Disneyland continues to serve as a positive experience for many, including adults. And I'm just hoping Justin Bieber didn't get the rash.
Have you been dying to get the Disney rash? No, probably not, but it does happen. Hey everyone, we're plus size park hoppers and we range in sizes from 2X to 5X. If you don't know what the Disney rash is, consider yourself lucky. It's also known as exercise-induced vasculitis. It can happen when you're exposed to heat and if you're exercising for a long period of time, which are both super common in Disney World because you can walk between 5 and 10 miles a day.
Okay, well.
More like when you've not exercised for a long time and then do a little bit of walking.
The rash typically appears on exposed parts of your lower legs. It can cause an itching and burning sensation and just be downright uncomfortable.
So there you go, dudes and dudettes. If you want to treat your partner, ankles, if they're going through a bit of a rough time, if you want to take them on an experience that raises their spirits and gets them through that, then Disneyland is the option for you. Just avoid the rashes.
Yeah, yeah, if you can, sure. I don't know about those people, but yeah, sure. I didn't even know that was a thing. So they just get rashes for just walking around for long periods of time in the heat. Interesting. Didn't know that. Chuck Schumer just got roasted on live TV.
Hakeem and I, we have a day of action on Medicaid.
Oh.
In every state, in every corner of the country, Democrats are talking about they're going to Medicaid centers. Anymore? They're going to people who would be deprived and.
Senator, people don't have faith in the Democrats.
Well, let me say this. Look.
It's funny because it's true. Hakeem and I, we have a day of action on Medicaid in every state, in every corner of the country.
I guess he's doing a good Fuck it. Yeah, it seems like they're just gonna keep doing what they're gonna do. Alberta pledges support to Trump as they look to leave Canada land. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sorry, I've been getting a little...
It is hard to
fucking
imagine
allergy
anything
season.
more un-American than that. The Trump administration's immigration policy is a threat to immigrants like criminals.
Immigrants like criminals. Why are you saying that? So, they're criminals. Why do we care? I don't. What?
America is too great to fall prey to Donald Trump's anti-immigrant agenda.
He didn't even say he's allowing visas, and I'm so confused. See, this is why no one likes Ilhan. It's fucking weird.
We need to restore basic humanity to our immigration.
What basic? What are you talking about?
System, and that starts with repealing the Alien Enemies Act.
Oh, you're just mad that Trump sent those people already on their way to what? Where was it? El Salvador. Get fucked.
Of 1798.
Oh, boo.
With our neighbors, not enemies.
They're gone.
Together, we will end this xenophobic law once and for all.
You guys are f***ing out of your minds.
I mean, look, look, the deal has already went through. Trump paid the bill. He sent them off. Done deal. They got fucked. Shitters. Judge questions Trump admin on whether it ignored order to turn around deportation flights. How are you going to turn around a plane in mid-flight? Like, what are you even talking about? Also, they were in international airspace.
Ari, I just don't know what to...
What? This dude is a soy fucking loser. He always throws the pen like that because he's a fucking loser.
What to do when people act shocked at something that has happened like for decades. Like, I mean, again, like I said, George W. Bush had to deal with this.
Even Obama was strict
had to deal with this repeatedly.
Obama was pretty strict on fucking the border too.
They didn't scream and yell and say we weren't going to listen to federal district court judges. What's changed?
Let me refresh your memory.
On student loans, Biden sets a dangerous precedent. Oh yeah, he did do that.
Joe Biden had to deal with this. They didn't scream and yell and say we weren't going to listen to federal district court judges.
But yeah, he did all the time. This motherfucker probably couldn't even stand trial if you even brought him in. He probably wouldn't even remember what the fuck happened that caused him to be in that fucking hearing.
For relieving student debt, but they didn't stop me. So far, I've relieved student debt for nearly 5 million Americans. A significant number are black borrowers.
Oh, that was different.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
There was. Rules for thee, but not for me. Image suspect killer at Westlake stabbing. Apparently this guy was did some stabbing. Stab. Let's take a look at it. That was it, right?
How are the Democrats?
Westlake stab. Los Angeles Police Department has released an image of a man who allegedly stabbed a 24-year-old man to death. Jesus. MacArthur Park last year. Oh. On August 6, 2024. Oh, this guy's been on the run? Joey Darrell Thomas of Long Beach. Oh, shit. Fatally stabbed near the intersection of Westlake Avenue and 6th Street, police said. While the motive remains unknown, police on Tuesday released a short video of the suspect killer, and investigators are asking anyone with information to come forward. For a reward up to $50,000 for the leader or for the killer's apprehension. So yeah, he's on the loose. He is on the loose. He is on the run. We got a runner.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is smash that like button like it's your Alabama cousin, so it reaches a wider audience. And now on with the memes. Number 1, careful out there guys. This is Yu Chong. Her online profile picture is on the left, and when she appeared in person to receive an award, the real her was on the right. She's
that catfishing though.
It looks to me like she used the Ozempic filter.
Them filters
this just proves that
though.
makeup has nothing on AI filters these days.
Jeez, women, what are you doing? Why are you guys liars?
This is like going from love boat to tugboat in 3 seconds.
Why are you guys bullshitting me?
Tried to look cool by talking to a TikTok influencer.
I'm sorry, women, but what the fuck?
Dwarf married to his teacher, who runs a country the size of a potato.
TikToker disaster bid to look cool backfires after president chats with the. Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah. This was fucking insane.
He'll probably fire or punish his staff for not vetting the influencer properly. Globalists always embarrass themselves when they try and look cool. That's because they aren't. You can't try to be based. You just are or you aren't. Number 3 looks like Andrew Tate's dad back when he was learning to play chess. The rule is that white goes first. But is that the white race or the black one? I think the white guy's just dumb or playing stupid, and the black guy thinks he's being racist. Both are reading into the game what they want to read into the game. But if this were accurate in the real world, the black pawns would kill each other, while the white queen would get together with the black king. Up next, Canada's faced the lost decade. Gee, I wonder why.
Fucking interracial.
Could it have something to do with Trudeau, as Canada now
marriages
has the
and
worst
stuff.
performing GDP in the G7. In case you're wondering why the Italian GDP is going up faster per capita than everybody else's but America, well, that's because its population is crashing. The reason America is beating everybody else is because of high-tech companies, but that's GDP per capita. And most people don't even own tech stocks, so the wealth inequality will continue to go up and up. Number 5, most of you don't know this, but many incels aren't even single. They're married guys in relationships where their wife barely touches them more than a few times a year. She's now
married incels. Not all incels are single. I don't. Jesse Jess. Okay. Alright.
Required to touch you, but you're still required to pay. But if a man stopped paying women and handing over resources, the women would start calling that financial abuse. But being cold and distant sexually on her part is perfectly fine. Also, if so many husbands weren't incels, then only fools wouldn't even exist. Moving on, meet Lucy Letby. Her supporters celebrated her birthday by throwing a party at a local pub, even though she's a baby serial killer. They even baked a cake and everything. It's probably a party thrown by a bunch of simps that all find her attractive and think
Jesus. Like that Casey Anthony shit.
they can fix her. Then again, I wouldn't be surprised if they probably believe that she's genuinely innocent and is the fall person for a battle-run hospital ward. How can someone so evil have a smile like that? Number 7, Quentin Tarantino says the current movie era is the worst in Hollywood. Of course it is. Between DEI filmmakers and endless sequels, the art of filmmaking is dying because it requires viewers have an attention span.
Not only that, but there's apparently the writer's strike is still going. The SAG-AFTRA strike is still going.
But he's only made 9 films and still has to make 1 more before he retires. I can't remember the last time I watched a film that blew my mind. The most excitement I get these days is watching Elon Musk's Starship launches. Up next, Canadian highways have become death traps with the Jeets and the Preets, paying off driving school instructors at truck driving schools to fast-track their licenses, even though many of them fail their tests. And now truck crashes are way up. One Indian driver went through an intersection and didn't see a bus full of hockey players. And
tragically passed away in a truck accident on a highway 17 near Ignace, Ontario. Let me guess. They collided and they slipped or something because it looks like ice.
And it's 16 Canadian junior players. That guy even received the nickname the Terminator for ending them all. Number 9, this is the reason I only buy Bitcoin and avoid other coins like XRP, Solana, and Ethereum. In the long run, Bitcoin outperforms them all. Here's what it's going to look like when Ethereum finally gets to $5,000 per coin. The founder is going to be in his 70s. People buying Ethereum 5 years ago were laughing and mocking me for buying nothing but Bitcoin. Who's the idiot now? Moving on, while you're worrying about how you can afford to have 1 kid to pass on your legacy, these 3 deadbeat dads in Tennessee have 81 children with 46 different women, and they refuse to pay child support. So your taxes are supporting their kids.
3 men who have fathered 8... I'm sorry, excuse me? 81 children with 46 different women? What the fuck? And they're not paying child support to any of them. Holy fucking hell. Man, these guys were just pushing out babies.
Will become criminals, costing them even more money, your tax money, to incarcerate them.
Damn.
When you have a welfare state and low...
What is going on?
grade men and women don't have to face the consequences of their bad decisions. You do. Number 11, here's a picture inside a woman's room in a drunk tank in Russia. But why aren't they wearing
drunk
anything?
Tank in Russia? Did they have sex? Why are they naked?
On their persons. Or possibly so they can have clean clothes to wear when they finally leave, instead of vomiting all over them.
Oh,
Maybe
they vomited,
keep the temperature in the
that's
jail
why.
cold. Because the more you're thinking about being
What do you want,
warm,
little
the less you're
pooper?
likely to think about causing trouble while intoxicated.
What do you want,
Up next, will
shitster?
this be the average looks max couple in 2027? More like 2026.
Yeah,
but
are
how
you
would
gonna
you even
keep
reach your
rolling
peak sleep
around
under
and
all that
shit?
fat? I doubt that even rolling her in flour and finding the wet spot would work in this case. There is no reason for this. He looks like he has a good job, so he can definitely pay for her Ozempic. It's funny how you keep hearing less and less about fat empowerment now that there's an easy medical pill to make you thin.
Ozempic.
It's better to be alone than to jump onto this mattress. Number
I mean, she
13, welcome
could
to
pay
hell
for
for
the
this
other
poor
stuff.
cock. His girlfriend cheated on him, but he doesn't want to
My
break up.
girlfriend cheated on me, but I don't want to break up. What? What? My girlfriend got drunk. She's been sober for 2 years and cheated on me. I believe in second chance. No, dude. What? She got drunk? So she fucking relapsed? She has to fix things, but most of our friends are saying to break up. I love the fuck out of her, so I don't want to break up, but I don't know what to do. Dude, I mean, if she got drunk and then relapsed, like, Cut your losses, man. Jesus.
Up with her. Her excuse is she got drunk when she did it. That's even worse.
Yeah, that's
because when you drink, your
Jesus.
true feelings end up coming out. If he meant anything to her,
He probably can't get another girl, which is why he can't let go. That doesn't fucking mean shit.
she wouldn't have cheated on him.
You stay with this person, you're asking for fucking trouble.
He loves her, so he won't leave. But
I mean, that's up to this person, whatever he wants
if you
to
don't
do,
have
but
respect for
this
your
is not
relationship, then you
good.
have nothing. She faces zero consequences. So what's stopping her from doing it again? Moving on, how would you actually name this look? How about hanging from a rainbow or that I have daddy issues look? I also kind of like
hanging
from
from the rainbow.
and that's
I
definitely
have
one
daddy
rainbow you don't want
issues
to
look.
taste.
Jesus.
It could also be an ad for some demented new Fruit Loop cereal or something. But I get it. It's the
All
he's
the
not my president
Transformers.
hairstyle. Maybe they also never matured past the Crayola crayon stage. You definitely won't find a pot of gold at the
You'll
end
never
of this
cheat
rainbow.
on our
Number
friendship,
15
right,
that pushes on to
Bromy?
put
I
Trump
might
on Mount
just actually
Rushmore.
fucking
In
ban
fact, you
you,
can already
to
see
be
the
honest.
hair. Sure, it would piss off a
getting
lot
tired
of
of your
leftoids,
shit.
which I'm all for, but it would ruin the legacy of what was already there. Looks like the plans are already being made, though. He certainly won't be the most important of the
Trump
four
belongs
presidents,
on
but
Mount
he will
Rushmore.
definitely be one of the most memorable ones. I say use all that money saved by Doge and finish the Crazy Horse Monument. Up next is more U.S. states going bust. They'll require people show proof of citizenship before allowing people to enroll their kids in public schools.
Wow, don't wow
I guess
me.
that means no more free taxpayer-paid babysitting.
You
Oklahoma
should sit
just
in your
implemented
fucking
this,
corner.
and I hope all states eventually do as
You
well.
should think about what
If
you've
you
done.
remove the free stuff, a huge chunk of the illegals will just self-deport. This should have been expanded as an executive order. It's costing states tens of billions to educate illegals.
No,
Number 17, many unattractive
education.
women say that their man needs to be 6'2".
I mean,
Meanwhile,
do these guys really want to be educated? Let's be real. If they've already, like, come into the country and haven't assimilated in, like, I don't know, and, like, or tried to at least have tried to assimilate in, like, a year or two, and then they haven't improved and don't keep improving, it's like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if we should let these people stay if they're not going to improve. I mean, this is wasn't it the whole reason why they came over was to try and get work? What are they doing sitting on their asses for?
next, as more U.S. states going bust, they'll require people show proof of citizenship before allowing people to enroll their kids in public schools. I guess that means no more free taxpayer-paid babysitting.
Every time you gotta fucking take your child to a public school, you gotta show them that you're an American. You gotta show some documents.
Oklahoma just implemented this, and I hope all states eventually
Oh,
do as well.
Oklahoma
Implemented
actually
that means
did
no more
this? Holy
The
shit.
Crazy Horse Monument going bust, they'll require people show proof of citizenship before
Proof of citizenship to get your kids in public school. Holy fuck. Damn. And Oklahoma already went through with the fucking...
they'll require people show proof of citizenship before
That's
allowing
insane.
people
I
to
didn't know
enroll their
that.
kids in public schools. I guess that means no more free taxpayer-paid babysitting. Oklahoma just implemented this, and I hope all states eventually do as well. If you remove the free stuff, a huge
reminds me of one, these wannabe cholo kids in Oceanside want to try and be rapper. I heard this one song by them, shitty song. This guy. I remember this lyric that said, I'm trying to get out the hood. Or some shit like that. And I'm like, no, you're not. You want to get out of the hood. You like this lifestyle. You just saying that to sound I mean, it's music, man.
huge chunk of the illegals will just self-deport. This should have been expanded
Also,
as
he
an
might have been
executive
high,
order.
too.
It's costing
You
states
forgot
tens
about
of
that.
billions to educate illegals. Number 17, many unattractive women say that their man needs to be 6'2". Meanwhile, some are so ugly with high standards.
Oh, yeah, the women who want, like, hey, if you're not 6... No, that's too bad. Or, like, 6'1". If you're not above 6 or 6'1", you're fucked. Too bad. Wait, actually, no, you have to be above 6'1". That's what it was. Because even if you're 6, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're 6 feet? Wow, you look like 5'11" or 5. It's like what? But my point is, they're not improving in terms of trying to get educated. They want to stay there because they like it. Yes, I understand. Are they going to school though? That is the question, right? Are they actually doing?
That they are making.
Are they actually doing the time to be educated?
Women have unrealistic
Probably
expectations.
Not, right? I mean, just look at some of the rappers who fucking apparently don't even know how to read or write sometimes. Like, holy shit.
For what they offer men these days. Unfortunately, for the majority of men these days, the only women that actually want them are women most guys don't actually want to
but I doubt
most
they
of these
have
women
it
were
bad.
told to eat all their food while they were younger so they could grow big and strong.
I mean, if you really think about it, given some of these situations and given some of these areas are pretty privileged areas. And then you obviously have the the no-go neighborhoods, right? So it's like it would depend on where you grew up. And I would assume most of these gangbangers grew up with pretty decent families sometimes. Or they weren't so well off sometimes, right? I mean, it just depends. Best lie you heard was eat all your food so you can be big and strong. Now look at you, just big. You're pretty much like Clarence from 8 Mile.
Now look at them. They're just big. Moving on, here's the motto of many youths out there these days. The old cooch is better than no cooch.
Old pussy is better than no pussy. I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I'd rather have no cooch in this case. She looks like she...
Clarence's parents have a really good marriage. Yeah.
He's got old man legs. Then again, the rave scene age...
Yeah, also, yeah, it just depends on who you make friends with too, right? Who you hang out with, right?
Them fast, and she's probably only
just like Clarence.
She's
right?
probably seen so much action that it looks like a skydiver's mouth down there. If you're really lucky, then maybe you can get in bed with her and her mother here. Just for the love of God, don't turn off.
No, that's her mother. Oh, jeez.
The lights. Number 19. This woman says her boyfriend has been distant recently, so she's wondering if anyone else wants to smash her. Of course, everyone is going to say yes. So
What's
this could just be an elaborate
Jeez,
stunt to get the attention of tons of simps online. But if it's true, then he's distant. Really? She probably dumped him. Otherwise, how else did she expect to get away with this level of disrespect? Most likely he was a Chad that ghosted her and was never her actual boyfriend. Remember, she's not your girl, it's just your turn. Up next, you work for the money the government printed out of thin air, devaluing it, and claiming you owe them even more in the form of tax. Bitcoin and self-custody fixes this.
Like
or Bitcoin ETF and a tax for your Roth IRA fixes this, so that not only do you avoid
like
tax on your Bitcoin,
the women who've been going around
from the devaluation of your currency.
Going open door.
This reality. Thank you,
like
Susan,
thousands
for
of
demonetizing
men.
me in 2018 and forcing me to learn about crypto and Bitcoin. Protect yourself against the government money printing tax. Number 21, the doomsday clock is now 89 seconds to midnight, which is the closest ever
the
to global
doomsday
catastrophe.
clock is
And what's
back.
causing this?
No.
Probably climate change and not actual atom bombs. Looks
It's
like the
the
people
end of the
presenting this are 89 months away from meeting their
Apocalypse.
maker. So why should they
The
care?
apocalypse
Probably just
is
a last-ditch
coming.
attempt on their part for attention and relevancy. They'll keep flogging that dead horse until 0.001 seconds till doomsday. That's because fear sells. Moving on and speaking of climate change insanity, in the UK, climate change could be sparking outbreaks of diarrhea, warn scientists.
What?
This sure sounds like a shitty situation.
Huh?
You can't make this shit up.
I'm sorry, what? Why?
Maybe climate change causes a lot of Indians to move to England and English love their curry and cuisine.
What?
Hence the connection.
I'm sorry.
Or it could be
Climate
that people are just weak
change.
soups that-
Climate change gives you the shits. Is that it? Does climate change give you the shits? Do you know?
themselves after 2 hot days in a
Jesus,
row.
what?
Number 23, the right now seems to be the side of normal-looking people with
Oh,
common
yeah, this
sense.
one.
So, of course, the lamestream media will attack the young people on the right, saying that if you join the right, you're joining the cruel kids table. Meanwhile, it's the cool kids table and the leftoids aren't invited to smash those Chads and Stacys. Except the Democrats working at the New York Magazine are the cruel racist ones, because they cropped up black people out of the original photo.
It's because
Socialists always accuse you of the very
because the
same
magazine
thing
is
they're guilty of.
the magazine
Up
cover's
next is
small.
this chart correct? Maybe 60 years ago, but not today. Almost no one is getting married and having 3 kids. Plus, a relationship between 2 smart people won't be one of love, but one of hate, because both will compete to dominate one another. Only relationships where one person is smart and the other is dumb end up working, and where both are dumb too.
Jesus.
This is reality except for the first one, before the pill, abortion, and no-fault divorce. Number 25 and the last one, when did Beyonce start looking white? And isn't that hair
When did
cultural
Beyonce
appropriation?
start looking
Then
white?
again, maybe it's just the lighting. It's like anal bleaching, just body-wide. I know that she always looked up to Michael Jackson, but becoming him is taking things way too far. Just to see what she would actually finally look like, I went to the future,
Oh,
and I'm bringing back this
no.
picture of Beyonce's final
Oh
form.
no, she's
So that's
trying to
it for the
change
memes
her
of the
skin
week.
color.
Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm, and so new viewers can find it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
If
I don't
you
know
enjoyed
why
this
that's
series and
happening.
want me to keep making it, then donate it to PayPal.
I guess as you
links.
age, your
Anyways, enjoy the rest of
melanin
your
in
day,
your skin
and
gets fucked up or something. I don't know why. Sometimes I don't know why. That's a reason. But yeah. The melanin, the color in your skin, basically. The immutable characteristic. Gov Tim Wall says at Iowa Town Hall, he is soul searching after 2024. Did he just? Oh yeah, that was like marble. Oh, that was beyond embarrassing. Watch.
How do you fight it? This
I
notion
think
of
I could
text.
kick most of their ass. I do think that if they wanted to. I know I can outrun them. But
Oh, he went on the podcast with fucking Newscum.
I don't know if we're going to fall into that place where we want to. Okay, we challenge you to a WWE fight here type of thing. This
I
notion of
think I could
text. Kick most of their ass. I do.
I think I could.
What the hell are you doing? I'm kicking my ass.
This
I
notion
think
of
I could
text.
kick most of their ass.
I'm kicking my ass, yo. Kicking his own ass.
Is it a mean left?
You say to those who claim you're using a 200-year-old law to circumvent due process?
An old law? It's not as old as the Constitution. We still pay attention to that, don't we?
And I also took this as an opportunity to again flex on MAGA and let them know that I will always be smarter than you.
Did you use
Oh, really?
the word smart? Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word. There's nothing smart about you.
Get this man out of here now. But if that doesn't happen, and we're not promoting it for 1 second, but if that doesn't happen, there will be violence.
There will be violence. She's this fucking lady, man. Yeah, we saw this yesterday.
Violence.
Me refusing to affirm your delusions. is not a form of violence. Yeah.
And we're not promoting it for 1 second. But if that doesn't happen, there will be violence.
Yeah, just stop being violent. Yeah, exactly.
I choose violence.
It's been called Gulf of Mexico for centuries. Get the fuck out of here. So what? We can change it. It doesn't matter. I do gender
As our brand new CNN poll this morning shows that the Democratic Party's favorability is at an all-time low in this CNN poll. It's just
all-time
29%.
low. Favorable. Nice.
It's a 20-point
29%. Wow.
since 2021.
That's a shame.
Oh, it is a 70-30. Wow.
Oh, that's too bad. What a shame.
Yeah, it is. It's a damn shame.
1,405 days, y'all. We got this.
Any other memes? Let's do this crazy news story.
I don't know if any of you remember this guy, but he was, I think he last tweeted around 2022. I had a little quick glance at his account, but basically, he was the founder of a pride group, I believe it was the Surrey one, and he was always forever tagging the police under people's tweets, going, "There's hate speech. Police, are you going to let this hate speech stand for people on Twitter?" And he was always trying to preach tolerance and acceptance and all that of the LGBT, LMNOP, leaning elbow on keyboard community. Well, it turns out he's been found guilty of raping a boy that was 12.
Face smashing and
they met on Grindr.
Fucking rolling on the keyboard.
A lot on Grindr. But anyway, the co-founder of a Surrey LGBTQ LMNOP group has been found guilty of raping a 12-year-old boy that he met on Grindr. Stephen Ireland, 41, was convicted of raping the child in the Addlestone flat that he shared with David Sutton, 27, on 19th of April 2024.
Jesus.
Ireland, who co-founded Pride in Surrey in
Ireland, what the fuck,
was
mate?
also found guilty of 3 counts of causing a child under the age of 13 to engage in sexual activity. 1 count was sexual assault of a child under 13, and 6 counts of making indecent images of children. Sutton, who also volunteered with the organisation, was found guilty.
Wait, he
of
was
3 counts of making
he was making indecent image. What the fuck?
Decent photographs of children, and
Jesus,
1 count of possessing
what a
or possession of an
fucking
extreme pornographic
pedophile.
image. The trial at Guildford Crown Court heard how the boy had met
Oh,
Ireland
so
at his
terrible.
flat after messaging
Fucking
on the
gross.
dating app. What was a boy that age doing on a dating app? But anyway, I swear to God, man.
I was
Parents
what?
out there, pay
Don't
attention
even.
to what your children are doing online.
This is
Pay
all
attention to what
sorts
your
of
children are
fucked
doing
up.
online.
Yeah.
Hell. Ireland suggests that they kiss and watch pornography, a jury was told, after which they had sex in the flat, smoked a bong and played pornography on a laptop. Aye, gave them drugs
Smoked
as well.
a
That's
bong.
wonderful.
Jesus.
The pair were convicted after a month-long trial and nearly a week of deliberations. Ireland and Sutton were also acquitted of conspiring to kidnap a child, while Sutton was cleared of 6 counts of
What?
conspiring to sexually assault a child.
What the
pair
fuck?
also pleaded guilty to 5 counts that were not presented to the jury during the trial. Ireland and Sutton admitted possessing prohibited images of children, while Ireland also admitted possessing an extreme pornographic image.
Ireland
Sutton
is a
also
person.
pleaded guilty to 2 counts of distributing indecent
So-
photographs of
I
a
thought
child.
it was all like. I thought it was the.
Predator. Debbie White, head of Surrey's
That was the country,
Police's
but it's
public
an
protection
actual
team,
person.
said Stephen Ireland was a sexual predator who targeted a young boy and took advantage of his age and vulnerability for his
Stephen
own
Ireland.
gratification. Both men then tried to cover up their offending by intentionally deleting material from their phones once they became aware of the police investigation and following their arrests.
This
This has been an extremely
up.
difficult and complex investigation, and I would like to thank all those involved for their hard work and dedication. I hope the convictions today send a clear message to any victim of a sexual offence that you will be listened to, you will be supported, and we will investigate such crimes thoroughly. A spokesperson of Pride in Surrey said it utterly condemns Ireland and Sutton's crimes, adding, "We remain committed to prioritising the safety and well-being of our community." What about kids? But you should be promoting the safety and well-being of children, because a child was the victim here. A child was the victim here. The pair will be sentenced on 30th of June. So this was doing the rounds on Twitter, and I think I vaguely remember this guy because he used to screech all the time and like tag the police and stuff.
He used to go
He was just a
re.
big
Oh,
knock
yeah.
on Twitter, going, "This is hate speech. This is hate speech." Blah, 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 when, you know, he was up to some stuff, like behind the scenes. Now, what was a 12-year-old boy doing on Grindr? Right, now there's multiple things here.
Yeah,
I'm not
like,
blaming the 12-year-old
what?
boy at all. Right, kids are
What is-
dumb, they're stupid.
where are
their
their
brains aren't
parents?
formed,
Like, what
right,
the
which is why they can't
fuck?
consent, which is why they should, any major changes and decisions that they want to make to their life should not be taken seriously, right? Because they don't have the mental capacity to understand the ramifications of such things. So I'm not blaming the child at all. What I do blame is Grindr, because this happens a fucking lot on Grindr.
Yeah, it happens a lot
This
on
happens a lot.
those sites and
Why are there not
platforms.
more measures in place on Grindr to prevent literal children from being on the platform? And I also place blame with the children's parents.
Yeah,
right?
the parents
Why are
are
you not observing what your child is
mainly
doing
to
on the
blame,
internet?
right?
I'm sorry, if your child is under the age of 18, you should be watching very closely what they are doing on the internet, because there are people out there like this piece of shit that are going to
Correct.
basically try and get access to your child and do some stuff that's going to affect your child for the rest of their lives. So basically, bad fucking parents. Bad fucking parents. I obviously mostly blame the two guys that committed the actual act, but still, there's a lot of responsibility to be shared for this going around. But still,
Correct.
this happens a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Parents aren't fucking paying attention to their fucking kids because they think they can. It's okay to leave it to daycare or whatever they think that is. All right. That was Count Dankula. This is Epstein Files. Donald Trump does not announce the release of the Epstein Files again. He never will because he's in them. When will you guys get it? What are you talking about? He did release them. Well, I mean, they already released part of them where his name has already shown up. So this guy is wrong. Epstein Files were a lie. The JFK Files were a lie. Ending the wars was a lie. Cutting foreign aid was a lie. Deportations were a lie. Free speech was a lie. Wake up. But he just released the JFK Files today, and people have to just go through all the shit because apparently there's a lot of it. I can't believe the Epstein Files aren't released yet by Trump. He's on his contain redacted version of files that have already been released unredacted, just like the Epstein Files. We've been playing. Oh, so they already re-released information? Oh. Oh. Release the Epstein files or admit you are protecting child abusers. Biden administration released more material on Epstein than Trump's did. What are you talking about? No, he didn't. Biden tried to hide as much of the evidence too. Oh, whoa. Alright, anyways. Alright, what's going on with Kanye? Kanye is fucking sick. He isn't unstable. He's just a weirdo. Speaking on kids when you have kids yourself. Yeah. Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? They're retarded, not like literal. And this is why artificial insemination is such a... That's why she's... Having retarded children is a choice. Jesus Christ, Kanye. My fucking God. Holy shit. It's just attacking Jay-Z and Beyonce now. What the fuck? Iggy, Kanye finally making some sense. I see the vision now. I knew Kendrick was a lame when I saw he had no they took mine against my free will. Jesus, what the fuck, man? But he handed his over for a Grammy. Drake doesn't have any either, but at least his dick is... Why are you like this? Iggy Azalea responds to Yee fucka Kanye. West posts about her and Playboy Cardi's child. Oh Jesus. As I understand that the point you want to make, I say this with kindness and as a mother. Please, I leave my child out of this. At the end of the day, Jordan has other children, less famous. Doesn't matter. But it seems only my son gets harassed in perpetuity about or on behalf of a man he has no relationship with. Does he read it? No, he's a child. But it creates a digital legacy and an odd, shitty situation for him to one day discover and endure in perpetuity. From strangers online. Can I please have some peace? Can my son have some peace? Hey, Azalea, I need to get Onyx vocals on my song. That's my nephew. Oh, and I'm a rap about one of your businesses. Oh, fuck. What the hell is wrong with Kanye? All it took for me to understand to Kanye West was slavery was a choice. The anti-black rhetoric. I don't trust any of you who are just now deciding enough is enough because he called Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids retarded. Kanye West and Frieza are reportedly making an album. God damn. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. Now Jay-Z and Beyonce on the other end. Fuck those and their entire families. Jesus. Jesus. I feel like that's gonna... Oh, I thought that was gonna, like, come back and hit her in the face. I hated not like Kanye has nightmares about this video? Oh shit, Kanye is a terrible rapper. Great producer. One of the worst rappers I've ever heard. This 20v1? And Kanye sound like a racist. Yeah. Oh, he's blacklisted. It's so hard to find him. The motherfucker's still only just posted. Highs and lows on WC3. This fucking guy. Every version of the Bully film. Which one was like best so far? Oh gee, Bully film featuring Cardi's nephew. Jesus Christ! No wonder Cardi. No wonder they were. It goes. Stop it. Oh god. What is this? Oh, just music sheet. I don't give a fuck any about this. Everyone paid for spit. I guess the people condone Donda 3. What the fuck is this? What would you rather have, Vultures 3 or Donda? I'm guessing cryptocurrency. Cardi, a woman beater told me to stop tweeting about Nazis. What do you broke? Always try to tell me what to do. Oh, I forgot. To choose. Say it's okay to make every song some foul murder. Then they tell this to make suggestions to me. Wait, who is this? Oh, okay. This is my soul. I'm not gonna. Kanye proclaims evil with unfiltered soul. His truth rejects good. The hooligan choir moving forward must be 18. Jesus. Oh, fucking Kanye. What an idiot. SpaceX. Splashdown confirmed Crew 9 is now back on Earth in their SpaceX Dragon spacecraft.
Back on Earth.
There it is. They are in the pod.
And SpaceX Freedom, Splashdown. Good main release.
Copy Splashdown. We see main shoots cut. Nick, Alex, Butch, Sunny, on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
There it is. Whee! Just brought humans back on Earth from space. There it is.
You can hear the crowd cheer.
Visual on two healthy drones.
The crowd here very excited as Dragon Freedom continues to make its way back to planet Earth.
Next up, we'll stand by for the main deployment of the parachutes. The mains are quite a bit larger. You'll be able to notice the difference on your screen once they deploy, and they continue to ensure that the Dragon spacecraft slows down even further. As we mentioned,
So they got
Freedom
the
will
first
be traveling
deploy
16
up.
miles per hour
The next
when
deploys
it
are
splashes down
coming
off the
soon.
coast of Tallahassee, Florida, here at 2:57 p.m. Pacific time this afternoon. And there we go.
There's the
We
second
have visual
deploy.
on 4 healthy mains.
That view was from inside.
Freedom copy.
That view was from inside one of the buckets where
There it is. And then you have it come. And here's Elon Musk.
Elon, first of all, what a triumph to the human spirit, human ingenuity, engineering. First of all, on behalf of, I know many people in this audience, thank you for what you did for those astronauts today. How were you feeling, throughout the day? I mean, I know I felt butterflies in my stomach, and I rarely feel them.
Well, I'm actually usually a little nervous about these returns because there's always some risk that something could go wrong. But thanks to the excellent work of the SpaceX team working with NASA, the astronauts are now safely home. And so congratulations to the SpaceX and NASA teams on excellent work and a huge note of appreciation to President Trump for prioritizing and expediting their return.
You have been the chief engineer of SpaceX and remain the chief engineer of SpaceX. It is the first private company to ever make it to orbit. Walk us through the beginnings of that. It is not, it's something that nobody else has been able to accomplish.
Well, it's quite a long story. And there are some books that have been written about it. But in the beginning, we didn't actually know anything about rockets. So our first 3 missions failed, actually, of our Falcon 1 rocket. And we almost ran out of money and just barely made it with the 4th launch. If the 4th launch of Falcon 1 had not succeeded, we would have failed as a company. So we just barely made it. So I have to say that I was not a very good chief engineer in the beginning, but I did learn over time. And I think we've gotten, at this point, to where the vehicle is very reliable. And we are going to be able to take astronauts to Mars. In fact, we want to take anyone who goes to Mars and ultimately build a self-sustaining civilization on Mars. That is the long-term goal of the company. Make life multiplanetary.
I mean, that is a very bold vision. How long do you think that might take SpaceX to be able to accomplish?
I think we could do it in 20 to 30 years.
Mm-hmm. So
But
really, in a lifetime,
I should say,
if God blesses me with a longer life than I deserve, right? I could always hope. I would love to be able to see that. That would be amazing. I happen to have a telescope, and I love to look at the stars in the sky and the planets, and I am amazed at the majesty of all of creation and the idea that we even look at the moon and we can go there and come back, or a space station, or you launching the hundreds of satellites you have. I want to ask you this question, if I may, and it's, every aspect of this rescue had challenges and danger. The launch, we start there. Then the rocket landing. I mean, we showed. I couldn't believe you were able to land the rocket that fell off perfectly where you wanted it to land. The docking video when they actually connected and got onto the space station. Then the taking off earlier today was a 17-hour trip, leading to the splashdown that all of America watched today. Every single aspect of that has danger and complications. Walk us through the dangers of each phase.
Well, on the ascent phase, there's always some chance that either the first or second stage will blow up. In fact, I find it's actually remarkable when you see a rocket. I mean, when I see the rocket, I see a list of all the things that are wrong, all of the ways that it could go wrong and potentially fail. So you could have a first stage failure, a second stage failure, a stage separation failure. The Dragon could fail to separate from the rocket. The trunk could fail to separate from Dragon. There could be.
Yeah, so they're putting them on
an
that
sort of an
gurney
engine failure
because
on the spacecraft itself. When
because of how long they've been in space, and they've gotten some muscle atrophy.
when it's coming back, it's coming in so fast. It's a blazing meteor. And if anything happens
And they have
the
to get
heat shield,
accustomed to
the
Earth
the whole craft is
atmosphere
gonna
again.
disintegrate. So
Because they've just been in
it's
no
remarkable
gravity
that
for
humans
a
can
while.
actually go all the way to orbit and come back from orbit, given the immense amounts of energy that is required to get to orbit and the amount of energy that must be dissipated upon return. And then the parachutes have to open. That all has to work. Now, long term, we are going to be doing, not long term, this year, in fact, we are launching the Starship rocket, which I recommend maybe doing a piece on, because that is truly a revolutionary rocket. Starship is the first rocket that has the potential to make life multiplanetary, to make us a multi-planet civilization for the first time in the history of Earth. And that's truly profound.
What was amazing, and I studied a lot of this because of my need to cover it, at one point going 17,000 miles per hour, going through 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit. You have this thermal protection system. Now, we do know that the Boeing Starliner, you know, we know that it had problems. So these problems that you talk about, we can't take them for granted or get complacent. Explain how you get up to 17,000 miles per hour. How do you withstand 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit and the thermal protection system that protects that capsule? And then the launch, obviously, of the parachutes, which were critical to slow it down for its splashdown.
Yeah, perhaps we should do a longer segment, because I'd be happy to explain it in detail. I'll do the 2-minute version here.
Yeah. Okay.
The Falcon 9 rocket takes off with 1.7 million pounds of thrust. So you can imagine something that has enough thrust to lift an office building off its foundations. And it gets to orbit. It gets to roughly 17,000 miles an hour in 9 minutes. So from 0 to 17,000 miles an hour in 9 minutes. And then it's just when it comes back, you've got that heat shield that's got to dissipate that energy. Like I said, you're coming in like a blazing meteor, and hardly anything can survive that heat. And if the heat shield fails, you just get vaporized immediately.
Yeah, you don't.
So
you don't want your fucking
we're really
materials
testing
to
the very edge
vanish.
of human ability here,
And then everyone inside is pretty much dead at that point.
It's kind of amazing that humans can do this at all. Hopefully this gives, hopefully for people out there, this is a moment of optimism about the future, a moment of excitement about the future, and it portends great things for America and humanity in space.
I'm only going to ask you one political question, just for clarification purposes only. I don't think this should really be a political night. I think this is, a moment where the country should celebrate the fact that you were able to rescue them, that it happened successfully in spite of the difficulty, the challenges, and the danger. But I just want to clarify on the issue of whether or not you had offered to send this rocket to space to rescue these astronauts sooner to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
The fucking Biden
I heard somebody
admin
earlier
shit.
today say, in fact, that didn't happen when I believe it did.
No, we definitely offered to return the astronauts earlier. There's no question about that. The astronauts were only supposed to be there for 8 days, and they've been there for almost 10 months. So obviously that doesn't make any sense. SpaceX could have brought the astronauts back after a few months at most, and we made that offer to the Biden administration. It was rejected for political reasons, and that's just a fact.
Yeah. I followed this from the very beginning. Did America and the world make a mistake by slowing down, going to the moon and to other planets? Was that a mistake on our part? I mean, don't we have so many scientific and innovative breakthroughs every time we go?
Well, I think we'll have tremendous breakthroughs when we establish a city or a base and then a city on Mars, because we'll have to overcome so many challenges that it'll serve as a forcing function for the development of new technologies that will have tremendous benefits to people on Earth.
There you have it. Promise made, promise kept. President Trump pledged to rescue the astronauts stranded in space for 9 months. Elon hater seeing SpaceX safety bridge. Oh, those. Dragon undocks.
And undocking confirmed.
Oh, so this is them getting them into the pod and then getting ready to go back to Earth.
Begin their belated trip home.
Separation confirmed.
Undocking occurring right on time at 12:05 a.m. Central Time, 1:05 a.m. Eastern Time.
1:05 a.m. So it was in the it was like super early in the goddamn morning. Jesus. He didn't call out Joe Biden. But he did say that they were only up there, supposed to be up there for 8 days. But they were up there for about 10 months. Right. Was that dolphins? Dolphins! Dolphins! Kennedy? Oh, he met with, fucking Conor McGregor.
People's humanity. But a lot of people's humanity.
Oh, this was yesterday. Oh, I already saw. Sergey knew Oswald would be killed after killing Kennedy and that MLK would be killed. He knew Kennedy would be killed in Dallas as well. Sergey, Chornano, British ambassador, Sacramento, California, to Russian ambassador, embassy of the USSR. This is retyped letter from handwritten. Dear Sir, Mr. Wasilev, consul, gave me order to transmit this information to U.S. government on August 9th, 1963 in Sofia, Bulgaria. Mr. Wasilev, consul of embassy of the USSR, gave me this information about Mr. Lee Harvey Oswald on August 14, 1963. Mrs. something Azanova, Basara Azanova, girlfriend of Russian consul, came to my room and repeated that Mr. Lee Harvey Oswald is assassin. He will kill President Kennedy. Interesting. On August 15th, 1963 in Sofia, Bulgaria, at the airport in MC car, I told to Mr. Blackshire, American Vice Consul, that Mr. Lee Harvey Oswald is assassin. He was a weapon or has ordered one. Mr. Blackshire said it seems like he will kill someone. I said that Lee Harvey Oswald is preparing to kill President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. Mr. Blackshire said there Where will it happen? I said the right wing will invite president, criticize him in the newspaper, and kill him. Mr. Blackshear told me he will give the telegram to Department of State and gave me the address where to report. So this is them trying to tell them, hey, you gotta watch out. There seems to be your life at stake. And so that Mr. is preparing to kill on August. This is interesting. So they were in talks with Lee and fucking Oswald. Martin Luther King Jr. Will be killed. Who will kill Mr. Dr. King? The Negro leader. I said that a man who is in prison at this time. James Earl Ray was in prison at the time. Director asked where assassination will happen. I said in Dallas, Texas. Director said if someone gave them Bill the man. Have a weapon, go see him. Director told me to have a weapon. So what if Oswald got weapon? So they were in talks, apparently? Yes, actually, it was the CIA that killed Kennedy. Memorandum, secret. John Garrett, Underhill Jr., Samuel George Cummings, and Interamaco. July 19, 1967. Parts of the June 1967 Volume 5 contains the following passage about subjects. The day after the assassination, Gary Underhill left Washington in a hurry. Late in the evening, showed up at the home of the friends in New Jersey. Was agitated. A small clique within the CIA was responsible for the assassination. He confided, and he was afraid for his life and probably would have to leave the country. Less than 6 months later, Underhill was found shot to death in his Washington apartment. Coroner ruled suicide. Garrett Underhill had been an intelligence agent during World War II and was a recognized authority on limited warfare and small arms. A researcher and writer on military affairs. He was on a first-name basis with many of the top brass in the Pentagon. He was also on intimate terms with a number of high-ranking CIA officials. He was one of the agent's people who performed special assignments. Basically like a fucking hitman. He was unpeople nice. At one time, he had been a friend of Samuel Cummings of Dude, this guy was like a spy. Literally, the arms broker. He was. He was an operator. Doing some like espionage shit, eh? What? I wonder if anyone's gonna make a video on like the good meat of everything. Yeah, 'cause it's so hard reading all that shit 'cause it's so small. It's probably better if I just try and look up the actual docs and read through it. Breaking JFK files reveal former CIA operative Alex Mason played an unknown role in President's assassination. That's from the fucking video game, dude. What are you posting? I am Venezuelan, and he is sure that most of us are not criminals, as Trump and Christie Nome says. The power in this country is not held by the president. Today we are Venezuelans who call us criminals. Tomorrow it can be the same citizens. Nor their own cause Mississippi Johnson established the district elected authority to rejoin the action. You cannot interfere with president's discretion. And the president reduced the power of the government. What do you mean? He did not reduce the power of the government. What? Exactly my target thinking. 3 days ago, the River State House of Assembly Act impeached the governor and I wish President Trump moves to label illicit fentanyl weapons of mass destruction in a new executive order. Wait, what? Defense Civil 25. U.S. Homeland Security News with updates about U.S. national security, border security, and news with the D.C. Stay tuned. Derek Evans. I don't know how credible that guy is. Netanyahu. I had my 9-year-old cousin, his mom, and his uncles, all of his kids killed by Israel last night. Jesus. Wait, the Swift tour? No way. Is this the Swift tour from Twitch? Looks like it. Oh. Well, that is unfortunate if that's actually the case. Oh boy. This is war, right? Federal judge was indefinitely blocked by Donald Trump's ban on transgender people serving in the military. Definitely will Trump ban on transgender. Very first legal. Chief Justice John Roberts of the Supreme Court just chastised Trump, saying impeachment of judges is not an appropriate response to his disagreement. I mean, obviously, he's gonna say that. Wait, the judge Theodore Chong has blocked Elon Musk and Doge from dismantling U.S. aid. Really, they have likely violated the Constitution. Wait, what? Likely violated? What the fuck? What the fuck? Likely. Get the fuck out of here. It's either a did or a don't. Don't say likely. What the fuck is that shit? Congressman Brandon Gill. Apparently his paragraph is legal and impeachable. Well, there you have it. Presidents can now ignore judges. Biden was ignoring judges. Why can't Trump? You see how that works? Also, he's not really ignoring judges. The judges have no power over this shit. Especially when it comes to national security. And he's invoking his power as, right, Commander-in-Chief. Lee Harvey Oswald. Okay, let's see what this dumb bitch is on about.
It's one of the biggest debates sweeping our nation. How to handle illegal immigration. And now the topic is taking center stage in many of our city council meetings.
In the first 50 days of the Trump administration, ICE has made more than 30,000 enforcement arrests. And we've seen many of them happening right here along our Gulf Coast. It was an emotional night tonight as Fort Myers City Council decided whether to allow city police to help with those deportations.
Gulf Coast News reporter Madison Adams joins us tonight with more from
Fort Myers City Council has a long history of working with FMPD. Tonight, Chief Jason Fields walked into this meeting expecting this to pass. Despite all of this, it failed with a 3-3 vote, even though the city attorney warned council members that they could risk losing federal and state funding if they didn't pass this.
It is a tumultuous day and age, and this is a day I hate sitting in this seat, but my city's not for sale.
Last night, you had the Fort Myers City Council in your own district vote to prohibit Fort Myers from police from helping with ICE agents because they said it would harm the immigrant community. I mean, what's going on with all of this?
Well,
armed
first and foremost,
immigrants.
President Trump is delivering on the mandate he received from the American people, which is deporting criminal aliens, preparing to send people back to their home countries, deporting other illegal aliens, because what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did was a flagrant violation of federal law, and we cannot house more than 10 million illegals in the United States, period, point blank. Number two, you got this federal judge who wants to take it upon himself to decide that he knows more than the American people, than Congress, because the law is actually clear congressionally when it comes to illegal immigration. And he wants to say he knows more than the Supreme Court, which back in 2014 gave the President of the United States plenary power when it comes to immigration and deportation procedures. And then you have council members in the city of Fort Myers who think they know more than the President, the Congress, the governor of Florida, and the state legislature, which just passed legislation that allowed for police officers to essentially be deputized by ICE in order to assist with the deportation proceedings of illegal aliens. These officials that don't understand their role, which is to implement federal and state law, not circumvent and create sanctuary cities, they simply need to be removed from office if they're not going to follow the law. It's that simple.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about another topic.
Yeah, that
is
too.
a prime
You can't
example
just
of how-
you can't just claim sanctuary cities to house criminals. Like what kind of bullshit is that? What the fuck?
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, insane the Democrat Party has become. Now, this story takes place out in Fort Myers, Florida, as you have these woke city council members. They're going to break down.
I mean, at
who
this
wanna
point,
cry
you shouldn't
in
even
tears
call them
after
sanctuary
being
cities.
forced
You should
to
just call them
vote on a
sanctuary
measure that would
states.
allow local police
Since
to
all these
work with
politicians are
ICE in
just
order to
right.
train some officers
Since these
to be
states
able
are
to
just
deal with
allowing some of these
arresting
fuckers
illegal
in
immigrants,
just
okay?
willy-nilly.
And apparently these woke city council members are really upset about having to make this decision that I think is a common sense shut and close.
I mean, they just don't want to
right?
lose
Yes,
their
to allow,
money share
the
and their
police to work
voter
with ICE
share,
to
right?
deport and arrest
They'll be
illegals, right?
losing
I
their
think
votes.
that is what the city should allow, right? That is best for the American
They'll be
people,
losing
but,
their
you know,
votes and
seems as if
money.
Democrats,
Oh,
they care more about the illegals, okay,
oh
and their
no,
well-being than the
your
American
funds
people.
are
And
drying
they're also
up.
concerned
Oh
about
no.
the illegals and the prospect of them facing racism, okay, as a result of their interactions with the police. Also, on top of that, they're concerned about losing federal money, right? So basically, they were faced with, okay, do we allow police to work with ICE, which would increase the possibility of the poor illegal immigrants and the criminals facing racism from the police?
Oh
right?
no,
Or
criminals
do we
facing
not allow the,
racism.
police to
Oh
work with
no.
ICE, and we're going to lose federal funds, right? So apparently, again, that was a
Racism to the
really hard
criminals.
decision for these individuals to make.
Fort Myers City Council
Whatever that
members have to
fucking
choose
means.
whether to allow some FMPD officers to be trained by ICE in order to enforce immigration laws. Chief Fields argued that this is necessary for handling situations involving illegal immigrants.
This is not to develop a task force or team to out and actively seek out illegal immigrants. It's training officers so that when an officer comes in contact with someone who's violating law, and now they determine that they're illegal. Right now, they have to wait on ICE, and ICE can't respond. So these officers will be trained as ICE officers.
He brought up recent cases where he says this training could have helped.
We did have a homicide recently where a body was dismembered. Didn't we have a sexual assault in which the
Oh yeah, there's
suspect
been some
Fields
dismemberment
ultimately
cases
failed
going
to
around
convince the
recently
entire
too.
council.
Shit.
So how are we going to make sure that
Oh
we're
yeah,
not
the cannibalism
racially
shit
profiled?
too. Yeah, there's people eating people because they're on drugs.
They're putting it on us again.
Or they're just
They need to
mentally
make
fucked up in the head.
Legal immigration smoother. And that way they wouldn't have
That
illegal
fucking
immigration.
Chandler
Me, as
Halderson
coming from
fucking
a
case.
people that was tormented over 400 years, I can feel how they're feeling about this. And I just don't feel comfortable with this policy.
More than 20 residents, many attending their first council meeting, spoke against the measure, and their voices played a key role in the outcome. In Fort Myers, Madison Adams, Gulf Coast News.
Yeah, so ultimately, the measure failed with a 3-3 vote, right? So it was a split vote Because, again, as you guys just heard, you had woke revolutionaries
Stalemate.
on the city council that were concerned about racism, hate, and bigotry, right? They don't want the illegals to go through what black people went through 400 years ago, right?
That's so stupid what they're trying to do. Yeah,
that
that's-
is
that makes
the
no
rationale,
fucking
okay?
yeah.
We're
The
voting
rationality
lunatics
in that
into
shit
office. I don't understand. But anyways, let's continue our reaction at these woke city council people boo-hoo-wine and crying over having to vote on this.
Thank you for what you said. Thank you for your comments. I cannot begin to imagine how difficult this is for you.
What? Aren't you guys citizens of the fucking what? You guys are fucking sad American. You know what? You guys can be shipped alongside with all these fucking ass. Also, she's a dumb blonde bitch. God damn it.
The argument, and I know there's no malintent to it, that we would risk federal or state funding if I don't sign up for this. It is a tumultuous day and age.
Wow,
And this is a
you
day I
guys
hate
are
sitting in the seat.
sniffling
No,
because
my
of
city's
this.
not for sale.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Giraldo.
I mean, you could have just let your state burn without the money.
Person, thank you for your words and thank you.
I mean, you could have just, you know, if you guys don't want the federal funding, you guys can just pay the state yourself, right?
Rosenberg, I can't. I sit here to represent my city, but my city is not just all of us sitting here. It's the people that live here. To support you, Chief, to support the intent of the city.
God,
I can't.
these fucking politicians
I
should
can't
be
stand behind
ejected.
this as an
Like,
immigrant,
I'm
the only
sorry.
immigrant sitting in this council.
Yeah, you guys, you need to
Because
put new people in. These
although
people
this
are
isn't
so
about me
fucking retarded.
particularly, I have been in that position, and I can't. I this has. I can't even express how heavy this is in my heart and in my mind, knowing
Don't
that
fucking speak. Get the fuck out of here.
the majority of us that
Quit
come
the job. Why
as
the fuck
immigrants,
are you
we
in
don't
this
come here
position
to
then?
commit crimes. Of course, there are crimes out there, people that commit crimes, and everybody that commits a crime needs to be accountable for it, regardless if they're illegal or not. But this notion that all immigrants have a motive and
See, now no. They're only. You were fine up until you said the last thing right there. Up until you started saying the last thing, it's like, oh. You know what? You can go with them.
and we are chased after. It's just something I just can't.
So if I can just add once again, this is not a memorandum to create a group of officers to go out there and kick in doors and actively seek out immigrants. It's a process that allows officers who come in contact with people violating the laws, people creating or committing crimes that also happen to be an illegal alien and have a warrant, a civil warrant for that purpose. This is allowing our police officers, our police department to do a better job. It's not what it's portrayed to be. And with that, if there's no other comments.
One more comment.
Yes,
It's quite obvious we're going to get a 3-3 vote here. And I'd like to say that we table this for the workshop and vet it out, but maybe your police department can bring it forward and we can understand the issues better. So I would, if the councilman would like to amend that to push it to
The fact that
Wow.
there's a 3-3
Wow.
vote like this is
You
fucking
can't make this up,
insane.
guys. This is the United States of America.
Holy
right?
shit. You literally have some politicians siding with criminals.
Unbelievable, okay?
Literally siding with
Democrats have
criminals.
progressed off of
Like,
a
don't
cliff.
get me
They
wrong.
believe
I
that all,
understand that there's a
illegals, okay,
there's
who
a
come into this
rule of
country should be able to
law
come in
and
legally,
everything.
right? And this is
But
why
these
they're so
people are
upset, because they
active
see
criminals.
The
Like, what the
deportation of illegal
fuck are you
immigrants.
doing?
At least those who haven't committed crimes, but who knows? These people also support the ones who have committed crimes as well too, right? So they
Yeah, it's
support
like-
all the criminals, right?
Yeah.
They see them as well. They
makes no
rightfully belong here, right? They can just come over here. They can just stay. It is so mean. It is so cruel to send them back, right? And to me, it's mind-boggling. It really is. This should have been 6-0. This should have been unanimous. Everybody agrees. Yeah, allow police officers to be trained by ICE so that they know how to handle illegal immigrants that are committing crimes that they come across on the street, right? It just makes the system better. Okay? It keeps people safe. It protects communities, children, girls, women. But you know,
they don't
hey,
care about
apparently
that.
none of that matters. More
Yeah,
so
no,
than
they
the
don't care.
feelings of the illegal immigrants to these
No,
Democrats.
they would rather have
And they don't
these
hear
criminals
boo-hoo-whine and crying
fuck
and
up their
boo-hoo-whine
own
and crying over
citizens, their
common
own
sense.
constituents.
That police officer, they just want common sense, right?
Yeah, and that you can hear the cop too. He's trying to be as serious as possible, and he hears those politicians, and he's like, that's not what our unit is about. We are effectively trying to do this for the safety of everyone, but you're being fucking weird about it.
He's proposing, hey, let's do this. This is common sense, and common
Yeah.
sense makes the Democrats break down in tears. They break down in tears. Again, this is embarrassing, but like I said, this is what the Democrats believe. Democrats are showing you that they are an extreme party. So, you know, when they come out here and try to pretend like they're not that extreme, right? Which at this point, they might give up on that, right? Considering how the Democrats are basically going to become the Blue Tea Party, right? So it seems. But regardless, I'm just saying, when they come out here and they pretend as if they are...
I mean, if they want to
illegal
toss out the tea,
immigration,
let them do it,
again,
so
just
that
remember
they
stories
can go
like
in
this.
jail.
This is how they really feel, okay? I've never seen Democrats shed a tear for anybody that's not a criminal, okay, or an illegal immigrant, which, again, illegal immigrants are criminals. But anyways, I've never seen Democrats shed tears like that for law-abiding citizens, right?
Correct.
Never
Yeah,
seen it,
that's
right? They didn't shed
insane.
tears like that for Lincoln Riley, okay?
Correct.
They didn't shed tears like that for any of the victims of heinous crimes from illegal immigrants, right?
Correct.
They couldn't even stand in Congress to recognize that, hey, these are victims and that they should be, honored.
I mean, you also have some of these judges who tried some people who shouldn't be in jail, right? And they just don't care about that shit either. They just leave those people in, even though they shouldn't be in there.
Right? They couldn't even do that. But yet, again, at the local level, they're boo-hoo-whining and crying.
Judges
over
are
some illegal immigrant
flaky
criminals
sometimes.
being deported, right? Or having police officers work with ICE, okay, to be trained to handle illegal immigrants, right? To enforce our laws. That's what they're crying about. It shows you where their priorities are, right? And it's not with the American people. The American people always last for the Democrats. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.
They want to send you into the meat grinder. Into the meat grinder you shall go. Yes? What do you got? Let's do this Schumer one. See what's going on here.
How are the Democrats running behind this?
And you know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes. Or, I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers?
While the Republicans are pushing this.
Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens. Does that make sense, right?
At least the Democrat politicians are finally being honest about how entitled they feel towards your money. As it's hilarious that he went on The View of all places to explain to all those stay-at-home moms and anybody else with enough free time to watch daytime television that it's the evil Republicans that think paying taxes is a bad thing.
It's the
As he's
evil
so detached from
orange
reality that even the
man.
producers started to try to play him off
not
and cut to
evil orange
commercial
man.
mid-sentence to try to stop him from essentially snitching on himself.
Or my employees. They hate government. Government's a barrier to people, a barrier to stop them from doing things. They want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
Because Senator Schumer and company tried to protest their way into stopping Doge.
Take away our dollars. Take away everything we have. We are going to fight this fight. I am going to stand with you in this fight, and we will win.
And when that failed, they resorted to this.
This is so stupid.
And they even admit they're paid to do this.
You get paid to be out here? Yeah.
You're getting paid to be out here?
Amazing. Just some pack.
You really are getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, definitely. 100% I'm getting paid for this.
Which really makes you wonder how
What
organic
the
modern day liberalism really is, with all these protests turning out to be paid gigs, Democrat politicians getting
Damn.
outraged at the idea of voter ID, and even down to just consumption of media. Even Media Matters put out this infographic at who's
Oh,
listening
yeah, I
to
saw
online
this.
content, with Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, and Tucker Carlson being overtly political shows, while the biggest
So is this the actual makeup? Supposedly? Media Matters for America? Yeah, it looks like it. So this is supposedly the actual makeup of people's viewership and numbers.
left-leaning outlets being The Breakfast Club, which I believe is a hip-hop radio show, Trevor Noah, which is a comedy show, and the Young Turks that I see struggling to get over 30,000 views a video. You would assume online viewership wouldn't mean so much, but I honestly think it's very telling when Donald Trump can go on Joe Rogan and get over 50 million views on a 3-hour interview, while Kamala Harris couldn't even scratch a % of that on any of her appearances anywhere. They want you to think this is a 51 to 49% split in America, but I honestly think it's more like 80-20. It's just that 20% feels no shame in being confidently and, more importantly, loudly misinformed. As the Democrat Party is officially imploding, first Senator Schumer voted against the Republicans for the government shutdown.
Republicans do not have the votes in the Senate to invoke cloture on the House CR.
But quickly changed his mind and voted with the Republicans to prevent the shutdown.
As bad as passing the CR is, as I said, allowing Donald Trump to take even much more power via a government shutdown is a far worse option.
Reddit realized it was just in time to go on his tour to promote his new book, to which all the replies were promoting a protest against him for selling them out. And shortly after, he had to cancel his book tour, citing security reasons. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to court a core of angry progressives that have nothing better to do than to march in the streets against anybody that doesn't agree with every single one of their thoughts non-stop because they're emotionally incapable of accepting nuance. I think most conservative voters are angry at how the Trump administration has handled the Epstein documents, but not a single one of them is contemplating blocking the freeways over it. Not because they don't want Trump to course correct, but because they know no amount of sign making and screaming in the streets is going to change it. But the least of Schumer's worries are the citizens. It's more the other Democrats that are seeing their opportunity to take his place.
There is a volcanic eruption of outrage at Leader Schumer because we want a Mitch McConnell.
You're close with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. Some of your fellow House Democrats
Mitch
say,
McConnell
and
sucked.
not just progressives, by the way.
Also, you only wanted a
moderates,
Mitch
have said this
McConnell
too,
because he was
that
actually
they're ready
voting
to
for you
support
guys.
Her, to challenge Chuck Schumer in a Democratic primary.
And now that he's
Would you get
gone,
behind
you don't
that?
have
The
him
point
anymore.
that Senator Schumer has kind of made
You
is,
lost your vote.
you know, the CR is bad, but a shutdown is worse. So how do you respond to that point?
That is, I cannot understand.
AOC's retarded. The government shutdown would be so bad for the Democrats.
Understate, I mean, I cannot underscore enough how incorrect that is, because what this does, what voting for this CR does, is that it codifies the chaos and the reckless cuts that Elon Musk has been pursuing. The robbing of our federal government in order to finance tax cuts for billionaires is what is happening, and that is what Senate Democrats will be empowering.
And they love to say that, but even the Hill admitted the Republican
Still
tax
sounds
reforms
retarded.
benefit the working class, not the rich. They like to pretend they're
Yeah,
for the
big
low-income
booty
voters
Latina
when
still
they're really
sounds
targeting
retarded.
low-information voters. Going on television trying to tell you this.
The Republican Party now, particularly in office, is the party of rich oligarchs who want to really screw every average American so they can get tax cuts for the rich.
When in reality, they're doing this.
The government can give money to a so-called non-profit,
Yeah.
with very few controls, and then there's no auditing subsequently of that non-profit. They then give themselves extremely lavish, like insane salaries, expense everything to the non-profit. Buy jets and homes and all sorts of things.
Live like kings and queens.
Yes.
On the taxpayer dime.
Correct.
You
And
mentioned
this is happening at scale. It's not just one or two. We're seeing this everywhere.
Democrats love to cite the Republican unelected oligarchs, but mention
Yeah, I
Jeff
mean, just
Bezos,
look at
who
the
owns a Washington Post,
just look
who
at the
promotes
UK
Democrats,
and
Mark
Canada
Zuckerberg,
land
who had his
Trudeau.
social media sites censored almost exclusively
Look at all their
conservatives,
cars and
Elon Musk, who only
fucking
recently
real
became
estate,
political.
right?
And if anything, Elon has
Those
lost
are
a large
shady
amount
as
of his
fuck.
wealth since speaking up. So at least to me, it doesn't seem like the MAGA Republicans are the party of the wealthy elites. But all they have is lies, as CNN openly admits the Democrats' approval is at a laughable 29%, but then pretends the opposite.
That I don't mean they're saying, boy, I regret voting for Trump and wish I'd voted for the Democrats. It's more that they're saying, well, this is not what I thought he meant.
But if you've stuck with CNN for this long, I imagine you're prone to believing anything, including Democrat messaging.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true.
Oh,
Prices
no.
They're up. Inflation is getting worse.
No, not this video. No, oh
People love
god.
eggs. Many of us have them. And finally, I have some good news for you. The USDA says wholesale egg prices dropped for the third straight week, and it's a pretty big drop.
So when egg prices are up under Biden, they say nothing. But when Trump comes in office, they all randomly record the same exact TikTok. But when the
Yeah,
prices
dude, that
go
shit
down,
was so
they don't
annoying.
care about the American people benefiting from being able to afford
dude, to
food.
really
They all-
to have that dude, I can't believe they actually did this. This was the stupidest thing I've ever seen the politicians do. Like, this was so fucking retarded. I can't believe they did this. This is like a self-own. Like, what the you just look all retarded doing all this.
For you, the USDA says wholesale pretty big.
Nothing. But when Trump comes in office, they all randomly record the same exact TikTok. But when the prices go down, they don't care about the American people benefiting from being able to afford food. They all just crawl back in their hole and start screaming about needing more of your tax dollars, as absolutely everything with this administration has been an upgrade, up to and including the Coca-Cola. As Biden had Hunter, and Trump has Conor McGregor.
That guy looks like me? Who, Conor McGregor?
On overseas issues that has nothing to do with
Huh?
the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is
So you're-
running ravage on the country.
Are you sure
There
you
are
want to
rural
be like
towns in
Conor
Ireland that
McGregor?
have been overrun in one swoop. That have become a minority in one swoop.
Because he got
So
into some
issues
shit
need to be
recently.
addressed.
And nothing against Conor.
Apparently
As
he
you can
cheated
tell,
on his
I'm a
wife,
fan of Mystic Mac
in a
and his
sense.
journey through the UFC. And when I
Or,
covered
well,
the
we
riots in
don't know
Ireland
to
last
what-
year,
to what
I
extent
really
he cheated on
appreciated
his
how he
wife.
stood up for the Irish people, no matter how unpopular it was going to make him in the mainstream media, which is pretty much the conundrum that we all face today, including you watching this, where if you want to base your opinions in reality, you have to accept the fact that you'll catch
No,
flack from those
stupid,
that
then
need
shut the
you
fuck
to accept
up,
their fantasy.
retard.
And the Democrats have lied through their teeth so
Are you talking
boldly,
about
it's
decoy
almost
voice?
validating
You
to
shut the
have them
fuck up.
angry
You're a
at me.
fucking liar.
Your booze mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer.
So if you appreciate my concise, light-order commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, then go check out the video on what happens
It's hard
when
to believe you
anti-Tesla
because I've never
protesters
seen you once in
meet
my
reality.
life. And I hope to keep it that way. Sorry, that was really fucking. That was really fucked up. Thank you, Mr. Decoy Voice. On to the next. Let's see what's going on with this. Veteran slams Elon Musk for taking away his Social Security.
Hi, I'm Corporal Henry Thomas III. I fought for the Union during the War of Rebellion, volunteered in September 1862, was honorably discharged 65, and Elon Musk is taking away my Social Security. Fought in Chancellorsville, Gettysburg, saw some action during the siege of
Yes, apparently you're still alive from the Gettysburg,
all around,
huh?
and I watched as my brothers died by my side.
Yes,
And
I
thought
hear
the
you.
thanks
I hear
would
you.
get would come in the form of some billionaire oligarch deciding I don't deserve my benefits.
Yes.
It's hard.
Yes.
Going to the skeleton wife and skeleton kids and telling them I don't know where the
Skeleton
next meal
wife
is
and
coming from. If I ever meet this Elon Musk fella, well, I got a real bone to pick with him.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Oh, a bone. I didn't even mean to do that. But anyway, billionaires should not be in control of our Social Security. This shouldn't be controversial.
I mean,
I hope
aren't politics?
You'll support.
What about millionaires? The politicians? Why are they having a hand in this?
Me and my brothers in arms by writing your congressman and
Tell
letting
those
him
guys
know
to fuck off.
it's time to stop Elon Musk.
Excuse me, can I get some water? My throat is just bone dry. That is refreshing.
If my calculations are correct, you're at the end of the video and the end of the world. But it doesn't have to be the end of you. Just buy our brand new book, The Babylon Bee Guide to the Apocalypse. It's full of such helpful tips as how to punch and kick things, and how to build a bunker. And only then can you survive the apocalypse and make everyone else
Really?
because they're dead.
Oh. I didn't. Oh. Okay, because they're dead. I see. What, another another one?
There are growing calls right now for State Senator Justin Eichhorn to resign. The Republican lawmaker was arrested during a police sting yesterday evening while allegedly trying to solicit a minor for prostitution. And he remains in police custody right now.
Huh?
Eichhorn represents northern Minnesota
prostitution.
District 6, which includes Grand Rapids. But he was arrested in Bloomington outside of a restaurant on Normandale Boulevard, just south of 494. This new video that we received just within the last 90 minutes shows the state senator leaving the Bloomington jail for Hennepin County. Danny Spiewak has been at the Capitol talking with lawmakers, and he joins us now live with this story. Danny?
Well, these allegations have truly rocked the state capitol here in St. Paul today. And although Eichhorn hasn't been formally charged yet in Hennepin County, Senate Republican leadership is already calling on him to
Dude, what is up with...
Senate leadership has not quite gone
What are some of these politicians fucking doing? This is like... We just had Obama, right? Obama's one of Obama cabinet members fucking get into this shady shit too. Right? It's like, what is happening? What is going on, dude? You fucking depraved motherfuckers! Jesus.
Scheduled a meeting in this commercial area on Normandale Boulevard near I-494.
Jesus
Police Chief
Christ.
Booker Hodges released a statement saying As a 40-year-old man, if you come to the orange jumpsuit district looking to have sex with someone's child, you can expect that we are going to lock you up.
2915, I'd like to thank my co-sponsors.
Eichhorn has represented North Central Minnesota
Fucking
since
wild.
the very day of his arrest Monday was one of 5 Republican senators who introduced a bill to classify Trump derangement syndrome as a mental illness. Senate Republicans immediately called on Eichhorn
Trump
to
deranged.
resign, as did the
What
Minnesota
the
State
fuck,
DFL
man?
party. However, DFL Senate leader Aaron Murphy did not go that far yet, saying only that the allegation is deeply disturbing and raises serious questions that will need to be answered by the court as well as his caucus and constituents. Murphy has also resisted calling for the resignation of her own DFL member, Senator Nicole Mitchell, who faces felony burglary charges, saying this about Mitchell's case a few months ago.
There are very fundamental principles.
Wait.
American principles.
Did the Minnesota State DFL
There's
party.
felony.
However, DFL
What the
Senate
fuck
leader
is
Aaron Murphy
happening
did
to
not go
this?
that far yet,
Dude, Minnesota's cooked. What the fuck?
Serious questions that will need to be answered by the court as well as his caucus and constituents. Murphy has also resisted calling for the resignation of her own DFL member, Senator Nicole Mitchell, who faces felony burglary charges, saying this.
Dude, what is up with Minnesota, man? Is that like crackhead haven or something? Like,
American principles. Innocent until proven guilty.
And just to quickly
I
explain the
mean, to
political
be honest,
dynamics
there
right
there
now
are
in
some
the state
places
Senate,
in the
if
United States
Eichhorn
where
did
it's just like,
eventually
yeah, it's
resign,
just filled
the
with
Republicans would be down in the minority by
crackheads
2
and
seats.
drugs
It would
and
Oh,
be a 35-33
there's a bunch of just
advantage for
not good
Democrats.
stuff.
With Mitchell's seat, that's the one that's keeping the DFL in that 1-seat majority. So there are a lot of political implications, for these cases. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Danny.
So fucking Minnesota's cooked, man. Hmm. Okay, I guess we'll go over fucking Hassan's bullshit. What happened? What's our terrorist propagandist doing?
So today we're going to be once again talking about Hassan. Hey, what's up, guys? We're here. So today we're going to be once again talking about Hassan Piker. Now, we've talked about him a couple times in the past month or so, mainly due to his crash outs over Asmongold, as well as his appearance on the Trash Taste podcast. And today we got pretty much a mixture of all those things. More crashing out over anime, crashing out over Asmongold, and some crashing out over Asmongold's favorite creator. Me, apparently. Yeah, well, at least according to Hassan Piker. But yeah, before we get into the most recent clips, let's understand the mindset this man is in currently. He's not doing too great the last month or so. It's been a lot of bad news today.
Apparently he's been getting a lot of well, it's hard to say who Hassan keeps talking about because he's just like he's just labeling the groups. And I can only think of some people who fit those groups just because of who's talking about this fucking idiot on the fucking YouTube or on their streams.
First, the Trash Taste podcast appearance, as you can see, dislike bombs into oblivion, tens of thousands of negative comments about him. This was in part, in a small way, a repudiation of their choice to bring him on the podcast, but mainly the backlash was just a way to express people's repudiation of Hassan Piker, and this video was just the lightning rod for that. Then shortly after, he was banned for a whopping day on Twitch after drawing some controversy for encouraging violence against a sitting
that was insane
US
that he
senator.
only got banned
And
for a
then,
day.
A couple days ago, more bad news for Hassan. The United States is
There's
dropping
there's
bombs
people
on
who
Houthi pirates in Yemen, which I don't know if Hassan has checked on his boy Luffy
Who have
over
done
there, you know, his favorite
way
Houthi,
less worse,
terrorist,
and
who,
they've
likes
gotten
One
way
Piece, which
more
gets
days, and
Hassan
it
very
doesn't make
excited.
sense.
Also, he's not just someone who's called Luffy by Hassan, but also a modern day Anne Frank. But this is the one that I think really made him crash out the last couple of weeks. It's Asmongold.
Oh my god. I mean, look, he does talk about fucking Asmongold a lot for some reason. It's like he's trying to egg on Asmongold on purpose. Like, it's really fucking weird. That's a good one.
Gold. Okay, for those who don't know, they've had disagreements for a long time now, but about a month ago, maybe a little more than that, Asmongold.
I mean, even Asmongold is still willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, even though this guy's a fucking asshole. He's just a piece of shit.
Dethroned Hassan Piker as the top political streamer on Twitch. This is a title that, again, only Hassan cares about, and it's clearly
Asmongold's way
affected him.
too nice.
It's bruised his ego, and now when anything happens ever, his immediate response.
I mean, I shouldn't
is to
say
think
way
about
too nice.
Asmongold.
He's very
We've seen
selective
many different examples, like
about
a viral
who he's
tweet
nice
can go
about.
off. He's thinking to himself, "What does Asmongold have to say about this?" He hears a creak in the floorboards of his $3 million socialist-approved mansion, and he thinks, "Is that Asmongold?" He sees a rat in the corner of one of his brothels he visits. He thinks, "Is that Asmongold?" Now, I have one about Houthi pirates too, but I think that one's a little too spicy. But you get it, okay? Pretty much any time he goes live and something happens or something's brought to his attention, he's making it about Asmongold. And that's no different with this tweet right here. So we talked about this yesterday, the situation with these Texas senators.
I wonder
and a
if
bill that is very
if you go
controversial.
into his
I went in
stream, you
depth
can
about
probably
my
count.
feelings about
he
this
probably
bill and how
he
I
probably
think
tries to
people like
talk about
Texeto are
Asmongold
really,
like 20 times.
misrepresenting what's
maybe.
actually going to happen with this bill and are fear-mongering for clicks. But you can check out my video from yesterday if you want
I might
some
be
more detail
fucking
on that. But
being
the point is, a lot of people are
hyperbolic
talking
there.
about
He
this
might
right
be
now,
saying it less, but
including
still, the fact that he
Hassan
keeps
Piker,
bringing up
who saw
Asmongold
this
is funny.
and immediately thought of Asmongold as well as his favorite lolly VTuber, me apparently. So let's give this clip a listen.
I saw this Dexerto article, and I'm actually very excited for Asmongold to finally fucking chime in about how censorship is unacceptable.
He would chime in, by the way. I'm pretty sure he chimed in before the stream was even made, and Asmongold.
Oh yeah, he
said
already
this is a
chimed
bad
in
bill.
about that.
Texas senators have unanimously passed a bill that, if signed into law, could make several games, anime, manga series illegal to own in the state. The bill bans any obscene depiction of a minor or someone who looks like one, and it's a very unique
Then the reason why I have a problem with that bill is because you could say all the games, right? Essentially, a lot of games you would be Guilty Gear, you would probably be getting rid of. I guess I would have to look up anime, right? If we just look up anime games, right? You would be getting rid of Persona, this anime artist game, Anime City, right? You're getting rid of. Oh well, I mean, let's be real. Some of these games are kind of like, but some of these games are actual games, right? So you would be getting rid of actual games. Essentially, is what that bill would be probably doing, right? So it's like that's. See, this is why I hate politicians doing what they're doing, because they're making a broad sweep, right? A broad fucking rule like this, and it's going to take out a lot of shit. Not only that, but you already have certain payment processing motherfuckers, right? Fucking over anime and manga and stuff like that, right?
predicament, because like I don't necessarily disagree with this decision, although I do understand how this will be used against everything.
yeah, I don't really have a problem with it, even though I know it's going to affect everything. That's a great take. But the point is with Hassan, he's clearly just reading the headline of this Dexerto post, and he's not actually going into the bill. He's not actually going into the article or anything. He's just trusting the headline like a lot of people did when this was posted. And just like those other people that I pointed out in yesterday's video too, they weaponize this headline to try to go after people they don't like. And in this case,
I mean,
Hassan's
that's
going
what
after
Hassan always
Asmongold
does.
over this one section here
Destiny
that people
does
are
the
talking
same
about.
thing
This is in
too.
addition to
I
the
mean, let's be
existing
real. All the
statute
lolcow
where they say
streamers
regardless of whether
do
the
the same
depiction
fucking shit.
is of an actual child, a
Fucking
cartoon or animation
Keemstar
with
does
image
the
created
same
using
shit.
artificial intelligence, yada yada yada. A lot of people believe that this is a way to go after AI-generated images using kids, which
Anything
obviously
that
is
drives up
exploitation,
fucking
right? And something
engagement,
that
they'll
should be
fucking do
outlawed.
it.
But a lot of the confusion regarding this section is remedied by the existing definitions in the statute this is adding on to. Like, they use certain phrases like actual child or indistinguishable from a real child. It seems very clear they're going after people using AI or deepfakes with children as the source, which is obviously exploitation.
Oh,
and
so
should be
they're
banned, like
going
said.
after
But in this case, I
exploitative
think it's pretty
material.
obvious. And
Yeah,
unless
but
they
to
give
do
us an
that, that's
indication that
so.
once this is signed in, that they're going to remove those previous definitions, I don't see how this is going to actually affect anything. But that's not the issue here when we're talking about Hassan and his view. He believes it's going to outlaw any content with fictional.
So a person commits an offense if the person knowingly possesses access with the intent to permit obscene visual material containing a depiction that appears to be a child younger than 18 years of engaging in activities described, regardless of whether the depiction is an image of an actual child. Okay. So it's not going technically after video games. Although you can say that some of those video games are kind of lewd, so it's like, yeah, I mean, as long as it's specific. I wonder, well,
characters that are under 18. He believes that, like many people on Twitter. So we're going to base our reaction to what he believes and is using to weaponize these attacks.
Well, from what I can see here,
what he's doing,
right, this is possession or promotion of obscene visual material appearing to depict children.
A lot of the anime he enjoys would be outlawed by this. It's very hypocritical calls for censorship. Also, One Piece would be gone. It has fan service,
and I'm guessing those
characters.
depictions are very
specific. And it would be very
I
disappointing
would
for him
assume.
and his favorite Houthi pirate terrorist.
Obviously, he doesn't show all the stipulations, but I would assume it's a pretty well thought out bill. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would affect One Piece. So again, supporting this is supporting the idea that shows like One Piece should be outlawed, which is, I think, very, very hypocritical. And there's a lot more to dive into here as well. During his appearance on the Trash Taste podcast, he said Blue Lock is an anime he enjoys a lot and describes it as a boys love anime and relishes in the tension between the characters, which are high school boys, by the way, which would be outlawed easily under this proposed bill or the interpretation
that would be outlawed,
of this bill.
Literally,
And on top of that, you go to the actual
right under his definition, right? It would be all the anime would be outlawed in a sense, and that's what I was saying with the video games too. And if it was just Hassan's way of thinking, right, then everything's outlawed. There goes one section of media, just gone.
Full podcast itself. He also talked about Dandadan and said that he's really enjoying that series, which 100% would be affected by that interpretation of the text of the bill.
Dandadan.
And on top of that, you keep going here for a second, and you notice that behind his comedically small head for his body, you see a lot of figures back here, right? And you can make the argument that a lot of these would be hypocritical to be okay with if you're Hassan, but this one's the easiest right here. So if you actually go to the source here, it's Riaz Gremory from High School DxD. So this figure would be basically the embodiment
that would be
of the show
outlawed.
that'd be outlawed in Texas, but he's okay with that because it's
a lot of figurines would be outlawed. Oh yeah, a lot of VTuber figurines would be outlawed too. See ya, VTubers. So, so under Hassan's purview, right? Under Hassan's rule, or so to speak. Yeah. Peace out, VTubers.
Sayonara. Just to get an own on someone you don't like online. But let's continue with
yeah, damn, you would be taking out two fucking industries.
Where my Asmon heads are at.
The fucking double whammy, goddamn.
Rent free, dude. Right back to Asmongold. Nothing can happen without it getting tied right back to him.
It's awesome because Asmon literally lives in Texas. And
Is
he
it
has
awesome,
to now
dude?
delete half of his fucking
Oh, see,
library
it's
if
all
this is the
Asmon.
case.
It's all
That's
Asmon.
awesome.
Because he lives in Texas.
It is what it is, dude.
I think that's the only reason why he brought it up.
So what happens? What is his deal? I'm sure he had to cover this.
He did. And he said, based on this interpretation, it's bad. It's unnecessary censorship, even though he doesn't like some of the things that would be protected as a result of his own viewpoint.
The unique intersection. It happened literally after I said, hey, Asmon, there will come a time when this administration will take away something that you like, that you hold near and dear to you, and I'll see how you feel about
I mean, the administration, right?
Literally a week later, they're
The
like,
administration already
week
takes
later,
away
it's like Texas Senators have
some of
unanimously
your
passed the
rights,
bill.
anyways.
Okay,
well, I mean,
I don't want to get into like semantics here, but I think
terms
it's very
of
weird
gun
to
laws.
categorize a group of Texas senators
Or I
as
should say,
the administration, like the
oh.
Trump administration. They're
Gun control.
unanimously supporting this. So Democrats and Republicans.
So you're already
and I know
getting
this might be a little
fucked.
far-fetched
So
for him. This concept.
this is nothing
typically
new.
aren't included together, but typically when
the
he's talking
government
about
likes to do
senators,
this all
he's
the fucking time.
encouraging
It's
people to
super
layman
annoying.
them, so, you know, I
Super
understand
fucking
the
annoying.
confusion there.
It's because you're dealing with politicians who don't know what the fuck they're
no,
talking
dude,
about.
It's not about fucking anime. What are you talking about?
And like when they make these bills, they're like not even talking to like
literally a lolly.
they're not even talking to people who actually support, who are actually fans or who actually have knowledge about things.
Okay, that's a
about
Sam
the
Hyde
internet
reference. Don't
space
let
and
Hassan
about
know
these
about that. He'll be
mediums.
very upset and start pissing himself in fear. But anyways, yeah, I've been lumped in. I've become Voldemort status on his streams. He used to like name drop me when he was trying to call me out or slander me or stuff like that. Now
Yeah,
I'm
you
just-
would
I'm
be
Voldemort.
talking
He
about
just refers me as
you
the
and
lolly
fucking
YouTuber guy,
Nuxanor.
and,
There's
he has
actually
had
a
this
lot
very
of
weird
basically
obsession with
VTubers who
tying
talks
me
about
to Asmongold as some sort of an
Hassan.
own. Which, first of all, responding to this, who cares if he reacts to my content? What does that mean? Is he like co-signing all of my opinions, or is he co-signing my beliefs, or like what does that have to do with anything? He reacts to a lot of people, but this idea that like I'm Asmon's favorite creator, well, that would be a nice gesture. I am 100% sure that's not true. Okay, and I've appreciated the reactions from Asmongold. Okay, I've been watching Asmongold's for longer than I've been making YouTube videos. Okay, like I was watching his old World of Warcraft YouTube videos and his OG streams years before I ever made a commentary video. So when last year in January or February, I believe, he started reacting to some of my content, I thought that was pretty cool. A full circle moment, if you will. But over the past year plus since then, I believe he's reacted to about no more than 24 of my videos, which in the grand scheme of things, he's reacted to thousands of videos during that time. And there's other content creators where he's reacted to 5-10 times that amount. Okay. And I don't say that to not be grateful. I appreciate it, and I definitely enjoy some members of his community that have come over as a result. They've been very good for my channel, and I appreciate them. But let's not act like this guy's watching me every single day and that I'm his favorite content creator. It's this very weird appeal to delusion, I guess, where they're trying to make us like bonded here. And it's totally
Well,
ridiculous.
Hassan
And I
always likes to
understand
misrepresent
why
things,
I've upset
as
this guy
usual.
so much that anytime anime comes up or Asmongold comes up, I come up.
It's
just very
his
strange.
shtick.
But again,
he's always
it's a
going to
very
do
weird
it because
standard to
he's a
make
fucking
when you're basically saying,
fuckboy.
"Oh, you got some explaining to do on this topic because you react to videos of a guy who I don't like or whatever he's trying to say here," which is weird because we could apply the same logic to his appearance on the Trash Taste podcast. I mean, let's be honest. Looking at the room here, he was sitting shoulder to shoulder with Lolicons. Like, it's not a secret at all. He was comfortable going on there, but apparently that doesn't matter. But Asmongold reacting to me somehow as a co-signing of something on the topic of anime in this bill. But we look at the people who are
The
involved here,
Anmu
right?
is being
He was
targeted.
Buddy. He's appeared twice on this podcast, okay? A lot of these guys got their start by leaning heavily into lolicon stuff. Heavily.
Correct.
Okay? Gigguk, a lot of his biggest videos, talking about anime like Arrow Manga Sensei. And you can translate what it says here.
Okay, anyways. Is he just gonna talk about Gigguk and all of them? Alright, anyways. We're just gonna move on, because it's like, I don't want to watch the whole thing. And we got more stuff to do. Also, it's fucking getting late. Asmon not needing to run ads due to living rent-free in this god's head. Yeah, pretty much. Voldemort says we now have Voldemort and Loldemort. The lollies, yeah. Yeah, the Asmongold solitary confinement chamber had me cracking. Yeah, that was a good one. Hassan is so broken that he isn't the most popular political streamer anymore, and the worst, it's someone who stands for everything he fucking hates. Yeah, that is true, right? That is true. Hassan's mad that Asmongold is not another Hassan. Hassan's mad because Asmongold is not a terrorist sympathizer. Oh shit. Hassan is mad because he doesn't have someone on the platform who's just as big as him saying the same shit as him. Hoes mad. Hoes mad. Hoes mad. Political bloggers who was supported by Twitch himself went down to the lower internet, having got the dude using the girl's avatar. The trust fund child is back at it again. Yeah, I mean, he did get his comeuppance because he's Cenk Uygur's fucking nephew. Apparently his family's in some big businesses. I mean, at this point, he might be a trust fund baby. I don't know. I mean, given his wealth and status, it could be. Anyways, Rev says Dezu. Well, I guess let's watch this one. What's this one about?
That, like, think about it, dude. I got fucking canceled for buying a house, like, for having a mortgage on a house.
Huh? What is he talking about?
House for myself and my family as a socialism, by the way, as though I bought a fucking apartment complex and became a landlord. Like, that's the way people treated it. I didn't design the market. That's number one. Number two, it literally fucking doesn't matter.
Yeah, apparently this guy lives in, like, what, San Fran or some shit.
It's a single family home in West Hollywood, and if you
Oh, West Hollywood. Ah. Hey, I actually used to live in West Hollywood before I moved out of there.
think it's a fucking mega
Well, I mean, I was a kid, so it was like... Also, we didn't live in the fucking rich neighborhood.
mansion because of its price, you would be
Holy shit, this house is so fucking clean, dude. Like, what? This motherfucker lives in probably the richest, one of the most wealthiest neighborhoods possible. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, it wasn't that bad, God. Oh, no.
diluted. It is kind of different, at least on the vibe check. Bro, what are you saying?
Jeez, why does Hassan do this?
I don't know why he doesn't just be like, yeah, it's a nice house, I love it. Instead, he just cries about
This LARPing communist is coping about his multi-million-dollar home in West Hollywood.
I mean, it's just his the way he reacts to certain things is just like, dude, you sound like such a fucking child.
So Hassan was watching someone else's content the other day. Like
Oh,
he
yes,
does
not reacting as usual.
all the time. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's eating too at the same.
Between shoveling
Yes.
his mouth
He eats. He eats on stream while he's watching videos. Right. Instead of reacting to them for some reason.
full of food, he found the time to go on
Oh. He also put some of this on fucking the YouTubes. He just cuts it right. He just cuts it up and then puts where he's only talking right.
rant about the housing market and his multi-million-dollar house. And this is where the guy started to get quite misleading. One could say he is even trying to obfuscate his lifestyle and living situation to make himself a lot more relatable. Let's see if you could...
I mean, he lost his relatability once he had this house and everything. I mean, he was already unrelatable with the whole Cenk Uygur thing.
catch what he does.
The reality is right now, the middle class are shrinking. The poor are getting poorer. Wealth inequality is absolutely fucking all of us over.
The growing gap
that's
between
in
rich
London?
and poor Americans is one of the biggest challenges facing the
That
country.
that
Get
was
this, the
UK
richest
guy,
1% controls more wealth now than at any time in more than a half century.
Why it gets me pissed is because it's literally stealing my generation's hope for a good future, a fulfilling life, the ability to buy a house, to have a family. This meritocracy we live in just is mental. You have to work so unbelievably hard to get the bare minimum.
I work. My wife also works, but what we make...
This motherfucker's just... This is why I dislike streamers. Just the low amount of effort they do. Now, I'm not saying everyone does it, but it's like... Oh my god.
But
oh yeah,
I'm not a pessimist. I truly believe I'm very happy. But all I realistically got for it at the age of 30 is a mortgage on like an average.
This dude is like Frogan, just stuffing his face like fucking Jabba the...
average size flat and an okay car. Don't get me wrong, I am truly blessed with what I have and I'm very happy. But what I have materially is what the average family would have had many years ago, earned on one wage whilst having 3 kids, working as a milkman. But
oh yeah,
I'm not a pessimist. I truly believe we can fix this.
That is
the more
true.
people we switch on to this message, the
Coming from him, it doesn't... It's just...
That's a really good point. That is a really good fucking point. Like, this dude he's made it, right? 500,000 subs on YouTube. He's made it. He's famous. He has a house. He has a car. These are things that are like, right now in this day and age, this is considered making it, right?
Does he really have a house though? When he has to pay mortgage that he probably can't keep up with.
And it's fucking nuts. Because what he's talking about are just like amenities that you're supposed to have with one singular job, with a single working parent household. It's wild that people can't comprehend that. That like we've we've lost sight of the American dream, right? Like the idea that you can just work a job, get good benefits.
He says that now when that's been happening for a while. Like, what is this guy talking about?
Have kids, raise them, have a decent amount of time off. You know? That, like, think about it, dude. I got fucking canceled for buying a...
And then he tries to put himself on the line. It's like, dude. You're not. Don't put
a house, like, for having a mortgage
don't
on
put
a house.
yourself on the line.
For myself and my family as a socialism, by the way. As though that is like, as though I bought a fucking apartment complex and became a landlord. Like, that's the way people treated it.
Well, I mean, you got your money by either your family or you're broadcasting on news and, right, people just throwing money at you to burn because these people are idiots. But, you know, that's what they want to do with their money.
How fucking insane is that? It's reflective of how far removed we are from, like, normal living conditions.
It says the one who's living a nice lifestyle.
Okay, dude, it's a huge fucking house in Hollywood or wherever the fuck it is. It is kind of different, at least on the vibe check. Bro, what are you saying? First of all, it's a single family home in West Hollywood. And if you think it's a fucking mega mansion because of its price, you would be deluded. It's a normal size house. It's probably smaller than your parents' house in Connecticut, dumb
Hassan's ears really started to perk up when that guy started to make that argument, didn't he? This dude loves when he's put into a situation where he could try and LARP like he's just a normal dude like you and me.
When he was talking to these people, I thought he was a fucking idiot. Literally talking to a bunch of convicts, telling them, hey, I'm the same as you. It's like, what are you even
like he
on,
wasn't born
dude?
into a rich family. Like his dad didn't used to be a high-ranking executive of a company with revenue in the
So he does bring this up, yes.
billions of dollars. Like his grandpa wasn't buying multi-million-dollar apartment buildings. Like his uncle didn't own one of the most successful independent media organizations in the world. And like he didn't magically fall into a position where he's the highest paid political commentator streaming on Twitch. Do you not see the disingenuous way he spins this to his advantage? He can act like his house is just a normal single family.
Yeah, and then you look at how much fucking bling he's wearing, too. It's like, Jesus.
Home. But that's just the case. He chose to buy a luxury house in West Hollywood. That was his choice. The market
Correct.
didn't make that decision for him. This guy probably pays like $30,000 a year in property taxes. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if that's more than the majority of his audience makes a year. The way he tries to
Yeah, I
portray
don't
his
even make
house is
that
modest.
much. Well, I'm a full-time student. I don't even have a job yet.
The average size is just so crazy. Because if you ever looked at it, the inside looks like a luxury Apple store with a pool. Nothing about this is average, my dude.
Hassan Piker has recently shelled out $2.7 million for a spacious home that is secured and tightly hid.
Oh. 2.7 mil. Wow.
Constructed in 2014, the contemporary Mediterranean dream home has an incredible amount of outdoor space.
That's why he bought it. Mediterranean home.
In both the front walkway and backyard. The grounds give one the feeling of a true oasis with a pool and unique Tommy Bahama cabana for ultimate relaxation. The cabana even has another TV and outdoor ceiling fans, which could mean some outdoor streams are on the horizon.
Yeah, I don't care what you say, man. This isn't an average
Wow,
house. You
living a
don't wear
lavish
average clothing.
lifestyle.
You don't
Oh my
drive an
gosh.
average car. You are literally a luxury consumer of the
Yeah, he's
highest
obviously a
level. You
luxury
clearly
consumer.
eat,
Just like
sleep, and breathe
XQC.
the finer things in life.
Right, Kai
Which is
Cenat,
fine.
all those
Good
guys.
for you, man. You
They've become
are killing
very
it. But when you try and
materialistic
portray
super
yourself as
fast.
one of the people, it's just so cringe.
Very
You have
materialistic
never
super
been one
fast.
of the people. And you never
Well, be their own
If there's
well, I
that
mean,
turns
it's
out being
it
like,
kind of has been
why do we
XQC's
care?
kind of
How
downfall
we got involved
because
like,
of his
that's a long story, but
ex-girlfriend.
explain to
I don't
people
even know if he's still
all
trying to
the
get
time
back with
that are
that crazy
listening
bitch.
that they are closer to where you are, and I am closer to where you are than we are to a guy like Elon Musk or a billionaire or like multi-millionaire.
Yeah, huh.
Also, it doesn't matter.
What do you mean it
I
doesn't
didn't
matter?
design the market. That's number one.
But you
Number
talked
two,
about yourself.
It literally fucking doesn't matter.
But you talked
Like,
about
think.
yourself.
Think about it. Please, for a brief moment, take a deep breath and go, Hassan, having a house or renting out an apartment, does this change his commentary even a little bit? Does this change his worldview even a little bit? Who has explained to you that this is inherently hypocritical? Who? Was it me? Did I say that it's inherently immoral to own a house? No, I never said that. As a matter of fact, I want you to be able to own your own home as well.
No, you don't. You're a fucking liar.
This is the problem.
What are you talking about? You wanted you wished America 9/11. Like, you pretty much want America's downfall while you're living the materialistic life and capitalistic life of an American. Strange. And you support terroristic organizations that have been designated by the US as terrorist organizations that have been well documented to have been holding hostages and killing them and shit like that. So you can go die on that pike, faggot.
You treat this as though I'm some fucking televangelist who has.
I mean, you kinda are with all the shit you're spouting. I mean, just look at this megachurch dumbass pastor. Now, I'm not saying Hassan's on that same level, but I mean,
Has a private jet.
he's spouting
and it's
some
like, yeah,
fucking
I have to fly
nonsense,
in a
that's for
private
sure.
jet. I can't be with the undesirable sinners in a tin can. Like, it's so stupid.
You do live in a
Sure,
tin can, though.
you might not have said that it's inherently immoral to own your own house, but you do call yourself a communist, and you do work for one of the most exploitive companies in the world,
Correct.
and make millions of dollars while doing so. All while
Yeah, you want to
slamming the-
know what's the most exploitative business? Entertainment. Ads. So that's why I don't like streamers that much. Because it always feels like they're trying to sell you bullshit sometimes. Especially when they have like their own their own shop of cosmetics and shit like that, right? I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with that, right? To push your brand and stuff like that. But yeah. That's why streamers are a little
billionaires that are essentially paying your rent, so you could preach communism to a
Right,
bunch
they're
of people that are
essentially
willing
a
to give you
small
$5 a
business
month to a guy that was born
in a
into
big
Somebody that will have more
ecosystem of
money than they can ever dream of.
the
And
entertainment
it's
industry.
pretty funny how you mentioned that whole televangelist bit. It's actually quite the good analogy, because the parallels between you and a televangelist
I mean, it is true,
begging
though.
his congregation
I mean,
for money so he doesn't have
yeah.
to sit in a tube full of demons is actually pretty close.
I mean, that's what these streamers are doing, right? They're like the infomercials. Some of these guys are like infomercial propagandists. Just look at Dictone. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Dictone. I didn't mean to throw you. I'm just being a douche. But look, some of these people, you do have to be careful. They do live their fucking life on the internet, right? They are plugged in like 24/7. They do get brain rotted sometimes because they're not looking. Right? Some of these people just play video games, right? And they just look at fucking dumb shit on the internet and sometimes, right? Just like any other fucking person.
In fact, it would almost be identical if the televangelist was born into a family with money.
And
then
some of these
still
guys just
decided to
don't look at
exploit all those people.
politics or social issues because they don't want it to affect their stream.
Exploitation. In the way I fucking generate revenue too. You know how I generate revenue? You have subscribed to me. Times that fucking 45,000, 50,000.
Wait, he subscribed to him? Wait, he's not subscribed. What are you talking
That's
about?
it. And you don't even
I think
have
he's talking
to.
about the other
That's
people
the
who.
craziest part about it. People are voluntarily saying, hey, I like your commentary. I want to give you $5 a month. I want to give you $6 a month. And initially it was because they wanted to avoid the ads. I don't even fucking run ads anymore. And people still subscribe. And people still gift subscriptions in the fucking chat. It's
That
not
means
like,
you're just a bunch of terrorists.
it's not like I'm giving you something extra even behind a paywall. I'm not. It's just perfect, completely voluntary. Getting mad at that is so psychotic. It's not like I'm fucking operating a sweatshop. And then people will go, well, Amazon is a hyper-exploitative company. It's like, okay, where is the non-hyper-exploitative company that I could be working at? That I could have a contracted gig, like a...
Aren't you working for Twitch? In a sense, don't you have a contract with Twitch? Isn't Twitch an exploitative company?
contracted wage.
I mean, they're housing you, eh?
Where I could still reach the same amount of audience.
I mean, just look at some of your trust and safety people in the fucking Twitch. Some of those people are shady.
There is no exploitation in the way Hassan generates revenue.
I mean, I hate to say it, but there's exploitation everywhere in the world. Whether it's day-to-day interactions with people, whether it's a company doing it, whether it's some Joe Schmo on the street trying to bum off $5, right? The whole world is a playground.
Revenue. I guess taking exclusivity contracts from one of the most exploitive companies in the world isn't itself exploitive.
Yeah, also also Twitch is part of Amazon now. So he's technically an Amazon contracted employee as of right now. Actually, I don't even know if he still has a Twitch contract. Well, I mean, I would assume so since he still has a sub button, right?
Just because you lost advertising monetization on Twitch for being a radical doesn't mean you can wipe your hands clean, man. You used to run advertisements every hour on the hour. Who were you generating profit by doing so exactly? You were literally putting money into Jeff Bezos' pockets.
Well, yeah.
Aren't some angel, dude. You...
Yeah, every month, right? Twitch still gets a cut that still technically goes to Amazon. So in a way, he's still paying Bezos.
You enriched yourself on the backs of this exploitative system.
Right.
And now
Exactly.
that you've lost advertising revenue on Twitch,
Hassan's
you
just
aren't
playing
like
the game,
chilling
right?
back and being okay with earning just a little bit less money. What are you doing? You are taking sponsorships for stuff like Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's playing the game when he's not being upfront and true about it. Right, he's just being a shithead.
A game made by Ubisoft, which is another multi-billion
Oh,
dollar
another
corporation
exploitative company, by
famous
the
for
way,
worker
Ubisoft.
Exploitation.
Yeah.
If you think you
Who
are
got caught
beyond
up in some
criticism
shit.
for these things, you are just absolutely blind, my man.
Also, the other side of that, that I think is really funny is when people go, "You're advocating for these things, but you're rich, you fucking hypocrite." And it's like, what do you want me to do? You want me to change my entire worldview now that my finances are different? Like, is that what you want? This doesn't make any sense. Why would you want me to no longer be on your side?
Huh?
It's so stupid.
Hassan was
It's
never
such
on
a
my
stupid
side.
argument. It makes no
Hassan is a
sense, dude.
disingenuous fuck. I don't want him on my side. If anything,
Now
I'd
that
just
my
put a bullet
finances
on, put
are
a bullet
different,
in
he
him,
says. So I
hit him
guess he
as
wasn't
quick
born
as
into a rich
possible, so I
family?
don't have to deal
This
with him.
guy is the king of
He is the
LARPing.
worst
Holy
actor
shit.
possible.
It's actually quite impressive.
He's just a
Also,
bad
how
faith
does his
actor.
audience not
Through and
notice
through.
what he's doing? How he obfuscates the situation and twists things to try and make himself more relatable to the thousands of people in his audience having a parasocial relationship with their favorite multimillionaire. All while they cry for communism. God, this
Communism,
makes me sick.
comrade.
Anyway, guys, I said my
Comrade
bit. I hope you guys liked the
Russia.
video, and if you did, make sure to hit that
Cry
like button
me a
and subscribe.
river.
And if you want to watch more content like this, YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video right here.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, when he was like talking about that shit with the fucking convicts, I was like, dude, what are you talking about, you fucking dumbass? Anyways, Mr. Grifter. Another person Hassan hates because he keeps criticizing Hassan.